UC Davis Health brings you the summer showdown between St. Louis FC and the Sacramento Republic. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Well, as we know, soccer can be a cruel game at times. Republic with their best performance the last two matches, yet somehow Sacramento fell to San Antonio.
Times, Rob, this season not playing their best stuff, but they still got results. And now we see the team starting to figure each other out, playing very well, but dropped the last two matches. I mean, look what they had to deal with against San Antonio. Clearances off the line. Restrepo with.
Up for you next, right here on the 558.
Someone else depends on you, the question of healthcare can stop you in your tracks. But candidly, it all really comes down to one big question. Who offers the very best healthcare? UC Davis Health. Visit answers.ucdavis.edu. During open enrollment, all those questions often lead only to confusion. But when you stop and ask, who provides the very best healthcare? Suddenly, it all becomes clear. UC Davis Health. Visit answers.ucdavis.edu.
The work is done. Your word is kept. And now, it's time to have a little fun in California. In the all-new Ram 1500, powered by a proven 5.7-liter Hemi V8. For work or play, the most capable Ram 1500 ever.
Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Ram 1500 for $199 a month.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on fresh. Here's the deal. If it comes from a freezer, not fresh. Box, not fresh. Bag, not fresh. Fresh means just chopped vegetables. Cheese grated by us daily. Fresh means we don't even have ovens, because you have an oven. So you can feel good about feeding it to your home bake an XL NY pizza topped with giant pepperoni and ground sausage on an extra-large foldable New York-style crust. Just $8. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
I Love Lasher, starring Vince Bloom and Subi, the newest canine companions for Independence puppy.
This month, this dog is dealing, starting with new 2018 Crosstrek 2.0i premium CVTs for only $23,263. Or how about Forester? New 2018 Forester 2.5i CVTs are only $23,870. Or lease new Crosstrek or Forester for only $149 a month. Your choice. Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Subaru and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovesubaru.com.
96 degrees here in Sacramento, California, the site between St. Louis FC and the Republic. Let's take a look. Consolidated Communications matchup. Begin with Beyond Bajev, 2 goals, 3 assists, but you feel the way he's been playing this season so far. He should probably have 4 or 5 goals, a couple of unlucky breaks. He's been brilliant as of late.
That's been a big key for Sacramento. Also keep an eye on his ability to really go after players 1v1.
So let's take a look now for St. Louis. Joey Calistri, 4 goals, 1 assist, signed during the offseason from the Chicago Fire MLS side. And here's a player who is expected to do a lot tonight, especially without a key player in Herzog out for St. Louis.
Yeah, a streaky player, really good going forward, can get goals for St. Louis. Someone Sacramento needs to keep an eye on. If he gets lost, he can really punish you.
Let's take a look now at our U.S. Bank starting 11. We begin with the Sacramento Republic, and the one key change here, Luis Espino, getting his 4th start on the year.
Yeah, Espino hopefully has a great game tonight. Also, Jaime Villarreal really coming into his own this season, I feel like, and it's been a real key and a bonus for Sacramento to allow Simon to rest players like Adam Moffett.
And take a look for St. Louis FC. Kyle Gregg, Albert Dikla up top. Couple pacey guys. Gregg leading St. Louis with 6 goals on the season.
Yeah, don't forget about Sam Fink in the back, the leader for St. Louis. Lockdown, solid nose defender, can get stuck in tackles and distribute really well at the back.
Well, our captains tonight, as you mentioned, Sam Fink and Jeremy Hall. Our referee tonight is Elton Garcia. Garcia in his first match here at Sacramento Republic. Home pitch at Papa Murphy's Park on the season. The Republic and their old glory red will head to the north end of the field. It will be they're visiting St. Louis FC in white. They'll head to the south end on a warm night. It's summer, folks. It's just got underway. Our first match here at 95 degrees, but it's already starting to cool down and feels like soccer's in the air. Should be a fun one. It is St. Louis FC trying to work their way back up into the Final 8. They're currently in 10th place in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, Sacramento on a great stretch run this year. Time for their best start in club history. They sit in 3rd place in the West. And here is a team that has gelled well as of late. We talked about it in the pregame, Kevin. 2 great performances. Unfortunately, did not pick up points in any of those contests. Here's a great opportunity tonight against a St. Louis side that has been playing well as of late, but still outside the playoff picture. Elton Garcia blows his whistles, and here we go. St. Louis to kick things off. Over the top quickly, St. Louis will look to send balls up over the top, try to get Deco along that right flank, one of his favorite spots to try to work from Kyle Gregg. You'll see him float around the top, slip and fall, and quickly back to St. Louis. Let's take a look at your Chevy keys to the match while we have a chance, Kevin.
Yeah, Chevy keys to the match. Rob, you mentioned it. Sacramento's been playing so well. Haven't got results over the last 2 games, so stay confident. Don't panic is my thought for these guys. Stay confident tonight. Go out there, play your game. You'll be fine. And don't get complacent. There's one thing that happens when you play a lot of games in a short period of time. You start to mentally get complacent. Want to see the guys really tuned in mentally and play a sharp mental game tonight. And then a clean sheet coming off once again. A lot of these games, I think Sacramento needs to think defensive first. Clean sheet always gets you a point. And I think Sacramento, the way they've been playing offensively, should be able to go out and get a goal or 2 tonight.
But fantastic play of Josh Cohen. 1.16 goals allowed on the season. And we've seen time and time again him easily become in the running for player of the match. Another great week from Josh Cohen. Let's see if he can continue that success. His 14th appearance on the season, 37 saves, has him near the top of the Western Conference in terms of goalkeeping ability. A little pressure, Yuri Matijasic along that right side. And Kavita in that right back position tonight. Kavita went to school in Clemson, but from Congo, the 25-year-old has been key contributor along that right side for this St. Louis FC side, who's trying to put things together. Here's Calistri. We talked about him in the pregame, a player to watch. 4 goals, 1 assist on the year. 25-year-old from just outside Chicago in Deerfield. Cameron Iwasa gives a bit of chase in Sacramento Republic, looking to press high already. Shannon Gomez, Dion Pajev both up. Opportunity to break here as Carlos Rodriguez going to have to make a play. A little misstep. Kyle Gregg. And it is Shannon Gomez to come to save the day, as a misstep there by Carlos Rodriguez almost gave Josh Cohen and company a bit of a scare, as Kyle Gregg, one of the most deadly goal scorers in the USL, nearly had a good run on goal.
Yeah, Carlos Rodriguez just overcommits there. Probably needs to work his feet a little bit better rather than dive in, but lucky for him, Shannon Gomez is Johnny on the spot, able to cover for Carlos and save the day.
Shannon Gomez brilliant in the loss to LAFC in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday, able to keep pace with guys like Diego Rossi and Latif Blessing, one of the paciest players in all of USL. And how about Shannon Gomez? His performance, we've seen it in USL play, but just another stamp of good behavior from a player who's been fantastic all season long.
Yeah, really, I think his consistency we're starting to see. Here we are halfway through the season, a foul drawn by Camelasa in the middle of the pitch. The consistency we've seen from Shannon Gomez, I think he came in somewhat unknown to Sacramento, unknown to Todd Dunovant and Simon Elliott, but really impressed him in the first couple, really impressed those guys Shannon did in the first couple of weeks. Come to his own, and the consistency, like I said, has been fantastic. Day in or week in and week out, you know what you're going to get every game from this guy. He's a guy that looks like he just doesn't, you know, he's not vocal, not complaining, just goes out there, does his job, does it really well, very blue collar. You see him getting up and down that flank, whether he's getting forward like he is now or tracking back like we saw him a minute ago, covering for his teammates.
Tried to cut it in. The 17-year-old Aiden Stanley gets the best of it, winning the ball, looking to break. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our UC Davis injury report. Out for Sacramento as we continue on at this break. We'll get to that moment. So here's Cameron Iwasa from distance. A big strike, a follow-up from the Republic. Sends it over the crossbar. As Sacramento's attack so relentless the last 2 matches, we're seeing it already here in the 4th minute.
Now, really good little build-up right there. Great job by Sacramento, putting the pressure on, turning the ball over. St. Louis does. Sacramento within 2 or 3 passes is having a strike on goal. Get another look right here. Cam Iwasa, good strike, deflection, miscommunication between Bijev and Matijasic, and I think Bijev's got to do a little better there. He's got maybe another moment to wait for that ball to come down a little bit for him and put it on target.
How many times has Yuri Matiasic or Bjorn Bajev been in the 6 or the 18 and making a play, nearly getting a good look on goal? And there it is again.
And I tell you what, Matiasic in the last 2 or 3 weeks is really starting to figure things out. You know, foreigners coming into the States, coming across the pond over here. It usually takes them a while to get settled in culturally and the pace of play. I mean, everything's different for these guys on the pitch and off the pitch. And I don't think enough credit's given to how different soccer is from country to country, especially from continent to continent. It takes guys a while to figure things out, and I think we're really starting to see Matiasic come into his own. As another silly turnover here.
Velistri on the left side, left looking cross. And Greg was crashing, but you're absolutely right. Even if you change teams, Kevin, within the same league, you're going to have an adjustment period. Matiasic, Bajev, and Iwasa forming a formidable trio nonetheless. And over the ball, beautiful stop here. Bajev able to track it down. Villarreal with a good-looking ball, able to keep this attack going for Sacramento that's been so potent the last couple of weeks. We'll get to that health injury report brought to you by UC Davis Health in just a moment, as Sacramento continuing to put the pressure on this St. Louis side. Turnley, good-looking ball. Out comes Gomez. Gomez able to snatch it out of the air. Good run from Cameron Iwasa. Let's take a look at our UC Davis Health injury report. Kevin Aliman still out with that right knee, as he had surgery about 2 weeks ago now. And Cole Seiler starting to work his way back into the mix. Seiler doing full sprints before the match here tonight, so hopefully see him in a couple of weeks. For St. Louis, big losses. Jonathan Braden and Corey Herzog both out for at least a month. So St. Louis out with 2 big players that have been contributors for this side, and see if they can find some help here in the match that gives a guy like Wall Fall an opportunity, Kyle Culbertson, even Lewis Hilton, see if they can step up into those roles. Seen 2 good possessions now for Sacramento. Attacks didn't result in the goal. Kevin, what are you liking what you're seeing from this club, not only tonight, but really the last few weeks?
Yeah, the last build-up play led to a good little cross by Turnley and a good job by Tomas Gomez coming out, collecting that ball nicely. But what I like about that play is really seeing Villarreal. We talked about it a minute ago, him coming into his own here in this part of the season, and love seeing Villarreal play the ball north to south, not east to west, or really north for that matter. Play the ball forward, find guys like Bajev in the channels, which he did. And what I also like about that build-up is Sacramento's patience and ability to work the ball from left to right, back to left, and get a service in the box with good runners in the box. So good build-up. Unlucky that they don't get something on target, but early in the first 10 minutes, good to see that sort of build-up.
Formation has been solid for the Republic. The spacing has been there. The passing has been on point, and it's the reason they're 3rd place in the USL Western Conference as we speak. Just 3 points behind Phoenix. Dikwa, and a big shove coming from Josh Turnley, and a foul is whistled as Dikwa goes slamming into these ad boards, and he's holding the back of his neck there, and there's no doubt about it. That was quite a shove from the left back, Josh Turnley. Was to take another look at what happened there as Dikwa tried to settle it down. Duke just caught him off a little bit.
That's not the best decision, in my opinion, from Turnley right there. Dangerous. Maybe work your feet a little better. Maybe go down for a tackle.
Deke with a 20-year-old from Cameroon. He grew up in Cameroon, but ended up finding his way to Florida and playing for the Soccer Institute at Monteverde, and then signed with Orlando City B and played there with Anthony Polis, who was the assistant coach there for a couple of seasons before coming over, and then played there between 2012 and 2014, and now he's getting his first head coaching job with St. Louis. But last 2 seasons with Orlando City, 19, 23, and 20. He's trying to turn around a St. Louis side that has had some ups and downs in their first couple of years, and they haven't been able to find on track. They've got him off to the best start in club history, and they went with a younger coach, maybe feeling he can connect with some of these players in a big-time soccer city in St. Louis. They're starting to feed a little bit of energy and feeling good about their team here. So it looks like Deke was going to be okay, walking on his own now. Setting up is Lewis Hilton. Hall and Wallfall. A little jockeying for position is continuing to stand over. This is Lewis Hilton, and here comes the ball. This service is low, kept on the ground, easily played for Luis Espino, but here comes a cleanup. Sacramento's problem with that as it tags the board, and Aiden Stanley goes forward with a big, strong left foot, the left back out of Illinois. not able to connect and find target here. Quick touch. Gomez showing that pace. Espino's to his right. Owasso waits in the middle. Gomez on the run there, as waiting for it was Espino. Just a reminder for our fans at home, you can follow live stats and more at Sac Republic FC or hashtag SACVSTL. St. Louis 20 points, 5-5-5 on the year. 2-3-3 away. It's been the Republic who are in third place at 28 points, 8-4-4, the goal differential of 4. They've been very good at home, 4-1-2 here at Papa Murphy's Park this season. Thought process for Simon Elliott putting Luis Espino in the lineup tonight.
You know, it might have something to do with cycling players through this busy period. Also talking to these guys beforehand, Espino's been doing really well in training. I think kind of earned this opportunity here tonight.
He looked good, had the goal against Fresno on the road. That was a game winner as Yuri Matiasic put it on goal. Here's a opportunity now. Dikwa just outside the 18. He's going to give it a big swing, and he is not afraid to take a shot on goal. Only has one on the year, but one of the best youngsters in the USL, made the 20 under 20 list. Here's a poke through, and Dikwa making a nice run. Kyle Gregg, great weighted ball, and just enough off his line as Mitchell Tainer made the move inside Dikwa. Jaime Villarreal came over from Los Angeles, grew up in Los Angeles, has played great as of late, as you talked about. The 23-year-old, maybe they gave up on a little too soon, but along with his brother Jose, both were sent off as Siggy Schmidt was brought in to take control of LA Galaxy, and maybe the mindset changed a little bit, but Jose was sent to Orlando for a 2019 third-round pick. Meanwhile, Jaime was allowed to leave and signed here with Sacramento. We've seen what Jaime can do, especially here at Papa Murphy's Park. Concerned he was maybe not gelling with the team as early round of these games had gone, but as of late, he's looked fantastic. His ball, that left foot, really starting to connect well with the strikers up top.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest complaint with Jaime this first part of the season was he was just too conservative, constantly going backwards, playing it side to side rather than going forward. You want to have your holding midfielder be able to connect and link up to skip some midfield players defensively to get to that attacking part of the game. We saw Jaime already this evening be able to connect with Bijev, find the channels, and over the last couple of games, you start to see him linking up better with other midfielders and strikers, which really what you want to see. In Jaime, with his class and quality, you kind of expect that. But like I said, I think he's really found his own in this squad. Silly giveaway right there. It's miscommunication between Bijev and Turnley.
Well, he does have talent, there's no doubt about it. Made 7 appearances with the LA Galaxy MLS side, 53 overall with Los Dos, and had 3 goals on those 2 seasons he played with Los Angeles. And he's had a couple of good crosses here to keep this attack going. He's had one good one tonight. See if he can keep it going. He's given a lot of space here. Allowed to find a Cameron Lawson just between the 2 central defenders. And send it right back.
It's a wonderful, wonderful entry pass on cue. Villarreal. Great ball, great connection with Kamawasa.
Here's Gomez. He's going to start a hard angling ball in. Falls to Kativa. But you're right. I mean, he is able to do that. And it keeps the pressure up.
Right, it doesn't need to happen all the time, but in that situation, the difference between that ball going forward and what we saw right now compared to what Jaime did, I think, in the first third of the season was that ball goes backwards or it goes sideways. And it just kind of stalls things out a little bit and allows teams to get set up and feel a little bit more comfortable. But when you have a guy like that that can pick pinpoint passes out with your forwards and other strikers, it becomes such a dangerous weapon that stretches teams and makes defenders think so much more because there's so many more gaps that can be exposed. So having Villarreal in here, being able to connect with your strikers, I think really opens things up for Sacramento, allows other players to excel and succeed.
Beauty of a switch to the field here. Espino keeps it in play. Gomez will track back. One-on-one here against Stanley. Luis Espino, one of the best on the ball. Good little crossover, poked away. Aiden Stanley showing not only maybe he be a young talented player, but he's got some pedigree to him and not afraid to step in, as the first ever academy signing for St. Louis has done that twice now. Along that left side of the field, Sacramento finding that's not going to be a hole that they're going to be able to exploit here.
Good defending right there by by Stanley.
Decent step from Hilton, has Greg on a break. Greg to his left, dumps it off to his left. Here's Culbertson. Culbertson just outside the 18, sends it in to the foot. Matijasic now it's to Hall.
Sacramento gets bailed out. Final pass by St. Louis, just not there.
Credit to Simon Elliott for juggling this lineup and keeping a guy like Jaime Villarreal, who maybe didn't show all the promise that we saw in those first couple of weeks, but stuck with him, and he's paying the dividends now as Simon Elliott has his team off to a really good start.
Well, we talked about it with Yuri Matijasic and how, you know, the transition and the challenge of transitioning from a different country to a different league. And you mentioned it, Rob, even interleague and going from city to city or club to club, it takes a little while for you to figure your players out and figure your teammates out and find your place in the team. It's not going to happen overnight and very rarely does. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here with Villarreal.
Simon Elliott off to a great start to his head coaching career. Sam Fink, the captain, moving forward. Couple of quick touches. St. Louis, when they are able to move the ball quickly, they are deadly. They beat Stowe Park by doing just that. Quick touches. They were able to win 2-0 at home, and a little hold from behind, and that may be more than just a foul against what appears to be Calistri, and it was Josh Turnley who hit the floor hard. And these cross balls from Turnley and Rodriguez have been a little too heavy. Slow it down, maybe heavier neither.
You know, in my opinion, that's not necessarily Carlos Rodriguez or Jaime Villarreal's fault right there. It's got to be the decision's got to be made between your outside back and your outside winger. Who's going to step high and receive that ball? And they've got to make it known to Jaime and Carlos, I want the ball. So I love seeing that ball being skipping players out. Great chance for it.
Look, you saw Cameron Iwasa ready to break. Espino looked for him and decided to try to keep possession instead. Bajev angling in. He loves to get defenders off that back right foot. Here's Jeremy Hall. He's going to spray it out wide. Leave it for Shannon Gomez. Shannon Gomez has Espino to his left. Espino looking in. Looking to be a left foot. It'll find the feet. Good defending from St. Louis. Mitchell Tainter able to hold possession and keep Albert Dikwa from running upfield and getting a good look on Josh Cohen. But Sacramento so far has owned the possession. They've been better in the attack in this first 17 minutes of action. Lisa Espino playing quite out wide here tonight too as he got the start. Typically a guy will come as a substitute and play in the midfield and really keep to center of the field. Tonight asked a little bit different, see how he can pair with Shannon Gomez. Good looking switch here. Sacramento has Bajev. Now it's Turnley to his left. Trying to make a run. Matijasic will circle back. It will be Villarreal to his feet. Now it's Turnley again. Turnley again. Curling ball, angling in into the feet of Espino. Matijasic will look to come clean it up. Will take one heavy touch. Will go for another one. Keeps it down low. Broken up. And still not done yet. Sacramento. And it's Luis. And it's Villarreal had it deflected. Espino was there.
All around decent play. I think only critique here is it looks like Cam Iwasa in the box needs to be a little bit more striker on your front studs as that ball served in by Turnley, but a good job by Sacramento nonetheless to pick up those second balls and try to get something on target.
Game's first corner, Vian Bajev will take it. Espino back to Bajev. Back post looking for Tainter. Tainter is clobbered in the box. There'll be no whistle, and it'll be a goal kick instead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have probably a problem if that's called a penalty. Looks like it definitely was a foul, but ball was nowhere to be played.
Sacramento, first time they have had a whole week off will come up this week. That's the first time in 43 days, or since May 6th through the 11th was the last time the Republic had a full week off. Kevin, that's 12 matches in 43 days.
Yeah, it's been over 2 games per week average over the last couple of weeks, which is just an outstanding, ridiculous amount of games over the last few months, especially in the middle of the season where guys are, you know, start to see some injuries happen. And also kudos to the training staff. We really haven't seen any sort of, you know, muscle injuries from the Republic guys staying fresh. But I mean, a huge challenge to deal with as a club going in here and playing so many games and so many important games over the course of 3 or 4 weeks.
The only club close to that, Louisville City and Nashville, who also made it to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. They played 10 in that same span. Good heavy challenge from Rodriguez here, able to break up the attack as Kyle Culbertson will go down. And now it is to the turf is Carlos Rodriguez, who has had trouble staying healthy as he holds his left side.
We talked about this before. This is my complaint with Carlos Rodriguez. That was a great play. I mean, and injuries happen all the time, but I think Carlos just sometimes is just a little bit too soft for my liking. You want your center back to be able to go and play through those knocks, as you want your center back to be able to inflict those knocks. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully we're not.
Maybe caught a knee from Culbertson. Maybe just a little stinger there, but either way, talk about how many matches, and it's a good thing they've played so many matches, but you're absolutely right. I mean, give credit to Simon Elliott, who's been able to manage the training sessions and feel like we don't need to go hard every single day. We've got a lot of matches, and there's also some truth to it. Probably the fact that they were winning in that first part of the stretch, late May, and it probably kept spirits high, and things always seem to be a little bit better when you're winning.
Yeah, when you're playing well, when you're getting results. I mean, the last week, obviously, losing down in San Antonio, which is kind of a fluky game in my opinion. They played so well, and they go down.
37 shots.
Yeah, they go down to LA, play against an LAFC, which was pretty much their full squad minus Carlos Vela. You know, not too much to complain about, but one thing, we talked to Todd Donovan before the match here tonight, and it's interesting, you know, like, what have you guys done to manage these minutes and manage the players? He's like, you know what, it's been light trainings. The mood and energy has been great. We've been playing well, and we've just gotten to a routine where it's game, light day, recovery the next day. You go out the next day, you do a little jog stretch, and you're gearing up for the following game already. So the management of trainings, of keeping them light and keeping guys fresh, and the fact that we haven't seen any injuries, any hamstring injuries, any players coming up with muscular sort of problems. Kudos to the training staff, and kudos to Simon and his staff for managing the players well and still having these guys look good and coming out and playing the best we've seen them all year.
But by far, you maybe say the game against San Antonio, we talked about the 37 shots, and Diego Restrepo, we should remind you, not only were there the 37 shots, but he had 9 saves in that match. That's the tie for the most in the entire USL this season, and that's coming from the 2017 goalkeeper of the year. You talk about a fluke game, you're absolutely right. Sacramento should have probably won that game, but there's only should-haves and there's actual points that are awarded. And so Sacramento unlucky there. And you talk about Los Angeles, what a match. And you saw the effort these guys put in. At the end of it, you saw Schmidt and Bajev, some of these guys just collapsing out on the field. Not only were they playing one of the best MLS sides, they were playing a team with a lot of pace, and they hung right there and had a chance to win.
They really did. I think they played really well, played admirably.
Deke was the offside, able to collect it, stays onside as Carlos Rodriguez gets back, cross sent in, great into the area. Now Gomez is going to have to clean it up before Culbertson's able to get to it. And again, the hustle from Shannon Gomez.
A great hustle. Blue collar once again, just a guy that goes out there and gives it all every single chance he can. You see right there, that play just relieves pressure. Now Sacramento has the ball. We're breaking out as opposed to having St. Louis come back down and maybe serve the ball in the box. So wonderful little effort. Those little things that Shannon Gomez does right there, that's a great example. Really helping his team.
Going back to Wednesday against Los Angeles, how about Bill Hopper stepping up? And you just felt like penalty kick, it's going to tie this one up. Josh Cohen again. I mean, I don't know if we've seen, let alone a bad game, a bad half from Josh Cohen this year.
Completely agree. I think him right now and Bajev are the two most consistent players that Sacramento's seeing this season so far. And what I really like about that statement is you got your goalkeeper in that conversation, and I think it just goes to show, or at least in my opinion, having a goalkeeper that can come out, make some saves in critical moments, keep points for your team is massively important, and Sacramento's found that so far this season with Josh Cohen. And here we are, we're halfway through. Knock on wood, but he's played great, and like I said, kept points in Sacramento's pocket single-handedly.
Well, and this is no fluke for him. He played well while Phoenix was on one heck of a run in September. His worst game after July of last year as he was playing with the Rising came against the Republic, where he allowed 2 goals. Other than that, he was the goalkeeper of the month in September, helped lead that team to the playoffs. And you talk about Didier Drogba and Sean Wright-Phillips, a couple of other stars they have in Phoenix, but he was just on that same level in terms of performance that he put each night out. And here he is in Sacramento, a great find for Todd Donovan. Mitchell Tainer and Carlos Rodriguez going back for it. You'll see the pressure from Greg and Deke will continue tonight. They've got to try something. They've had a little bit of struggle. Vida able to hold off Bajev as Bajev tried to get something fancy. Bajev, and now it's Villarreal stepping. It's going to be Owasso with a big strike from outside the 18 as Tomas Gomez watches it sail past into the ad board, but a good look for the Republic again. Once more time, Villarreal and Iwasa starting to pair well tonight.
I tell you what, great step by Villarreal, keeping the pressure on, does a good job, gets stuck in, great step. And I like this effort from Cam Iwasa. You know what I'm going to say, fine target there, but I don't mind that strike. Cam's got the ability, if he strikes it cleanly, he can hit the ball hard enough, just doesn't catch it clean, just pulls it a little bit. But still, good step by Villarreal. It all starts with Villarreal and how quickly Sacramento was able to put something almost on target. That's what I really like to see in that play.
You saw him several times tonight now turn in toward goal and able to get something wide and continue the attack. Here's Shannon Gomez. Espino to his right, way out wide tonight.
Still needs another option. I think Cam's got to get over there a little sooner. Good step right there.
Cameron Iwasa continuing to chase a warm night. Cameron Iwasa, to his credit, has stayed healthy throughout this run. He has started each and every one of those matches. Has 5 goals, 3 assists on the year. The 5 goals are the most for the Republic this season. Good step there from Carlos to bait Decoy just a tad.
But I want to go back to that ball. When the ball's on Shannon Gomez's feet, there's been a few instances here in this first half so far where he's only got Luis Espino on that touch line, getting as wide as he can as an option, but that's the only option. You need Cam Iwasa or Mati Jasic to show, to give Gomez. It's a good save right here.
Comes back for it, and he's going to get it right in play. A little pressure here from Culbertson.
But even if it's a decoy of a run to get in there, you've got to have another option. Otherwise, you're dead in the water. And as an outside back playing that position, it's one of the most frustrating things to feel where you're on an island. You want your striker to come over there, just give you an option, even if it's a decoy run.
And hustling internally to keep it in play, Calistri slipped and allows Republic to keep control of this possession.
Yeah, really fortunate for Sacramento. You saw Simon's reaction to that. It's a good chance to go forward.
Nice ball out from Cameron Iwasa. Moving forward again is Shannon Gomez. Has Espino inside. Now it's Villarreal. Cut off as Reynolds goes down, slips back for Espino. Espino dig up over the top, looking for a run, won't get one. And defended nicely as it falls back to the feet of St. Louis.
Good job by Sacramento, too, collecting these second balls.
Mati Jasic, so crafty into the 18. Here is Iwasa.
Good run by Iwasa. Just a quick, sharp, crisp run by him. Just needs to try to nod that thing, obviously below the crossbar. But that's the run you want to see from Iwasa. When the ball's outside, it's got to be sharp, it's got to be crisp, it's got to be quick. Allows you to get some separation.
Cameron Iwasa, who grew up here locally, played 2 seasons with the Republic. His best year came in 2016 as he had 12 goals, and currently he has 17, which is just 3 behind the all-time leader of Rodrigo Lopez. So, you know, he's searching to add more to the total of 5, which he has this season. And he does have the club record of 12. No one talking in that back line. And here's a good step and opportunity. Kyle Gregg, wide open look. He's going to cut it back in. Looks to his left. And Jaime Villarreal come to help again. He's been the MVP so far this evening, and he has played well defensively. And again, there is Jaime Villarreal to come up with another stop. And Kyle Gregg feasting toward goal, had a big look on his face, just waited for it. It was Jaime Villarreal from the back to break it up. Now Sacramento looking to push it forward. Iwasa comes back for it from Paul. Mati Jasic to his right, goes inside, being held, can be a foul shot on goal. It's in. Cameron Iwasa with number 6 on the year.
Oh my God, Cam Iwasa made that look so easy. Coming after a really poor giveaway in the back, a great piece of effort individually by Villarreal. Opportunity, a turnover for Sacramento to push the ball forward. Great counterattack, great decisions, and Cam Iwasa, cool as you like, comes in on his left foot, right off the shoulder of it looked like Sam Fink, and a simple inside of the foot pass into the far post, right by Thomas Gomez. Gonna look right now, great effort right here, just slides right by Sean Reynolds. And Gomez has absolutely no chance. Look at this first step. This touch right here is where separates him. Great touch, gets his heads up, finds the goalkeeper, and a simple slot in that far post. Makes it look so easy. Wonderful job by Cam.
Well, the brilliant play of Cameron Iwasa continues this 2018 season. 6 goals on the year for the Jesuit High School product. Started at UC Irvine.
Still some concern in my mind with that play before. It looked like there's just communication. We've seen it a few times now on these diagonal balls where guys aren't communicating and talking with each other. And that, in my mind, is it's all mental. It's mental fatigue that usually prevents that communication. You definitely don't want to start to see that early in this match. So guys need to just, I mean, the best way to get yourself out of it, Rob, is to talk your way out of it.
Matty Osich, and just caught the back heel of Kavita. You see Irvine star Cameron Iwasa able to come here in his first opportunity as professional. They went to Swope Park last year, did not get the minutes he was hoping for, and had a chance to get out of his contract, did just that, and came to Sacramento. Now he's getting a little pressure to Gomez. Gomez clears away. Gomez is allowing just his 6th goal on the year in his 6th appearance. He will not get the shutout tonight, but Sacramento, who played well here against Phoenix as well, just a missed penalty kick from Jeremy Hall, and it could have been 3 points against Phoenix. Instead, they ended with a draw. Another shutout from Josh Cohen on that night. Here's Calistri and company. Can Sacramento hold defensively? They've been a little bit shaky in the midfield. Jeremy Hall, Jaime Villarreal, they've come to help out quite a bit tonight, and they may need to continue that style of play if Sacramento wants to earn the 3 points and put the pressure on Phoenix and the Real Monarchs, who sit above them currently in the Western Conference table. Digua back to Calistri, such a dangerous player in the midfield. He'll find Culbertson. Culbertson's going to give it a ride, and go over the crossbar, and Josh Cohen will watch that nervously again, probably on replay tomorrow, and see how close that was. But a good strike from Culbertson, who has come up in the attack a couple of times tonight.
Pretty good buildup there by St. Louis. Culberson's got the runner. Stanley's overlapping on the outside, but elects to have a strike. Looks like really didn't give too much worry to Josh Cohen in the end of the day.
St. Louis has played well as of late, and of course they beat Swope Park, as we talked about, but then it was against Real Monarchs, lost 1-0, and they felt a bit frustrated as they felt like they really did dominate that game, but the attack wasn't quite there as many times as it needed to be, and they missed too many opportunities, according to their head coach Anthony Polis. And Polis believes that this team is in their best form of the season. They've just got to be able to convert some of those chances, and they were hoping to do that tonight against a Sacramento Republic team who they know has played a lot of matches so far in the last couple of weeks. We talked about it, the 12 and the 45 days, but for this St. Louis side, they also felt like, you know what, we also can't take this team lightly. They know they're going to be in a battle here. They know it's going to be a good crowd, good atmosphere here at Papa Murphy's Park. But they felt like they could probably come in here and sneak one. Well, right now they're down a goal. It appears to be on the turf, maybe Lewis Hilton. And maybe got stuck a little bit by Yuri Matiasic. But so that hopes of coming in here and sneaking one, or either getting that early goal, maybe sitting back for the rest of the match, that's not likely the case here. And they're going to have to continue to stay aggressive as St. Louis wants to pick up a point tonight.
I'm going to start pressing. Taking a little more chances, taking more risk.
Hilton a little bit frustrated. It wasn't given more, and Dikwa able to run out into space. Says he's onside. Flag will stay down. Tainer will come over to help. Ball kept low, and Tainer will send it right to the plate. It'll be the first corner kick coming up for St. Louis tonight.
Yeah, it's way too easy. Tainer and Turnley need to communicate a little bit better. Once again, I think it's a product of lack of communication that causes that, but a good run really by Dikwa to find himself some space in behind.
It'll be Lewis Hilton, 4 assists on the year, 27 chances created heading into this match. He's going to send a good service in, and it'll bounce around. It's good defending by the Republic, keeping Wall Fall, who stands well over 6'2". The player had some time in Germany and Austria before signing with Rochester in 2016, and he has a chance and come over to St. Louis. Another service one. This one's curling out. Carlos Rodriguez will get a head to it. Back to Culbertson. Tries to keep it in play. Dangerous here as Cohen comes out along the 6 to pick it up. And another good defensive stance from the Republic after a well sent ball in from the corner. The attack wasn't quite there as Sam Fink tried to come in and close it in.
Really good step there by Josh Cohen. Quick off his line. Decisive goalkeeping coming out and thwarting St. Louis's attack.
I think the one thing we've seen struggles with a lot of USL goalkeepers throughout the years, their decisiveness, and you said the right word there, is that they're afraid to commit one way or the other. It seems like Josh Cohen seems to make the right play every time.
Yeah, the decisiveness, being able to commit. It's a little shaky right there.
But he's being able to, his feet, though, too.
Yeah, being able to commit, make the right decision, and trust that decision. I mean, you can say the same sort of thought process with strikers on the opposite side of the field, in my opinion. We talked about it before. Is picking your decision and trusting it and doing it. Being decisive and not doubting it. If there's any sort of doubt or indecisiveness, then you're already lost the battle. And I think that same sort of mentality, strikers, I mean, across the board is really important for soccer players, but goalkeeping, very important because you only have a few opportunities during the course of the game to make that decision. And if you make the wrong decision, you're picking the ball out of the back of the net.
Well, how about Cameron Iwasa on their side? Talking about strikers, he was very decisive and made the right move all around. Got the game's first goal unassisted.
Yeah, decisive, and you're exactly right. If you go back and you look at that, Cam's got one thing on his mind. He's going to take the ball, put on his left foot, and I'm going to find the back of the net or find target, and does a great job of doing so.
Talk about a good run that St. Louis was on as well. They beat Tulsa 3-0. Calistri had 2 goals going against his former team, and it was Calistri who was so vital to the St. Louis team's success as he tries to make a play there against Mitchell Tainter, and was able to get 2 goals against his former team as he was sent on loan to Tulsa from Chicago Fire last year. Chicago released him and decided that Tulsa was not where he wanted to continue to play, and then found a home here in St. Louis, hoping that he could help change the culture in a place that had been a little bit shaky last year. Hall. Iwasa comes back for it. Heavy on the touch, but Bijev able to keep it at his feet anyway.
Yeah, it's a tough ball from Iwasa out to Bijev.
Iwasa being swarmed. Look at the challenge coming from behind, able to stay up on his feet. The athletic move from number 31 goes down for the 3rd time after being kicked. But again, it's Cameron Iwasa showing the athleticism out here and giving Sacramento a pretty good opportunity for a free kick.
Yeah, Elton Garcia right there slows things down as a quick restart by Sacramento.
Bijev working his way in just outside the 18. Now he'll work his way in, come back out, and it's Josh Turnley with a good left foot, but he'll relinquish that and head it off to Jeremy Hall. Espino now. So good off that first step. He's not going to find a whole lot of room there. His shape held well for St. Louis, and it comes up big, but there is able to get to Kyle Gregg. But not quite done yet. Look at Mitchell Tainter, the center back for Sacramento, not afraid to come up, but they've got to get now back as Albert Dequa is looking to make a run against Carlos Rodriguez. In to help is Villarreal, and Carlos Rodriguez, great defending, Kevin Gold, but you like what you saw there.
Absolutely. See him working his feet, not diving in, picking his moment. Carlos Rodriguez is when he's going to step, when he's going to engage, and when he's going to make contact. Quality defending there by Carlos Rodriguez, and I think if you're looking at that from the start, that's the last, or not the last guy you want to see going against the pacey Dequa. As Carlos Rodriguez, the one thing I think he lacks is pace, but does a great job there and outsmarts Dequa. Does a great job shepherding the ball out.
2 20-year-olds going at it here tonight. 2 assists for Carlos Rodriguez on this season. He had a fantastic game winner as a late game substitution. Paul Buckle put him in last year. What a fantastic goal that was to win the game. And that was against Rio Grande Valley on September 9th last year. It was a desperately needed 3 points for the Sacramento Republic. Up over the top, good ball from Culbertson. And Culver left with the overlapping run. He'll get to the left side, he's going to send a hard cross in, trying to give somebody a chance. It was Gregg in the area. But again, plucking it out of the air was Josh Cohen. These teams have met twice before. Sorry, Kevin. The 2016 season, it went 1-1. Republic beat this St. Louis side in Missouri 4-3. Cameron Iwasa did score in that one, but it was St. Louis who won here at Papa Murphy's Park 1-0. They did not face each other in 2017. That's because St. Louis was pushed to the Eastern Conference because of teams being added left and right, it seemed. And then this year, to balance things back out again, they were put back in the Western Conference. Tainter will send it back to Cohen.
Tough ball for your goalkeeper to deal with. See some complacency here happening. A couple minutes left, 10 minutes left in this first half or so.
Whistle's being blown as Elton Garcia is going to have a conversation with somebody. Maybe going to have a quick conversation with Carlos Rodriguez. Maybe stalling a little bit here. Doesn't want to see any more of that.
I see Jeremy Hall, your captain. I think that's what's needed right now. You can guys get back in the rhythm here.
It's Dequa into the corner, being marked by Rodriguez, and Espino is going to send the ball toward net. And no real chance at all for St. Louis on that play. So it'll be a goal kick for Josh Cohen. Maybe another in their corners. They're saying that Carlos Rodriguez may have deflected that. And Josh Cohen and the rest of the Republic a little concerned where that call came from and feel like that's not the right call. Dequa either way. Able to earn the 3rd corner for St. Louis tonight. Kyle Culbertson in the corner, along with Lewis Hilton. Hilton has taken the other two. And it's going to be either Culbertson or the outswinger. Culbertson lets it draw in, bounces around, dangerous play for St. Louis. The follow-up comes up big, still in the area, not done quite yet. Tried to head it in. Josh Cohen will see it tag the top of the net.
I tell you what, as a player, it's one of the most frustrating things to have a referee really influence how things are going. And there's a great example right there where clearly that is not a corner kick, and yet it's given and almost is a goal. I mean, that's how quickly things can change in this game. And that was always my gripe as a player. I'd always ask for an apology from the referee, which was rarely given, shockingly.
Your appeals went unhealed.
Talking to you from Cohen, but I mean, that's how quickly things can change. You know, it's just a set piece, a corner kick given. But still, Sacramento here in the last couple minutes need to figure out a way to finish this half strong and really kind of buckle things up a little bit and make sure they don't concede a goal here late in this first half. Another interesting decision here by the officiating crew.
Well, Simon Elliott and staff are none too pleased with what's happened here in the last couple of minutes. And they may have a gripe and they may have a case, but either way, their team is up 1 and they were able to stave off what potentially could have been a game-tying goal from St. Louis just a moment ago on that corner kick. Spino so fast, so pacey into that midfield, trying to work his way, trying to create some space, maybe a little too many touches, and a challenge given here, and it's going to be a yellow card handed out as well. And the crowd's not going to like it, but at least Spino may be showing a little bit of frustration as he's handed the game's first yellow card of the evening as it comes in the 41st minute. And he went hard into Aiden Stanley, and Stanley, who's not afraid to step in and maybe send a little bit of a message. Aiden Stanley stepped in maybe one too many times. Hilton back, being pressured. Matty Osage and Iwasa sends it upfield. Looking to break is Kyle Gregg. He's added to his total. He has 6 on the year for this side. Played for Vancouver last year for a couple of matches, but then he was loaned to Cincinnati for the final 12 matches to finish out the year. Had a pretty decent run. It was a great late addition for FC Cincinnati, who went on a strong run after a good run in the U.S. Open Cup as well. Not able to go as far as they want. And Greg was able to find an opportunity where he could get some more minutes here at St. Louis. Villarreal, he's been brilliant tonight. Finds Bajev. Along that touchline, Jeremy Hall wearing the captain's armband. He splits those duties with Adam Moffat of the season. Two of the veteran guys, both with plenty of MLS experience, and both have shown that they can play in any role that they're asked. Jeremy Hall attacking mid last year. He's become more of a defensive-minded player this year, allowing Adam Moffat to move forward. As Moffat was out most of the year, Greg slips and falls, tries a hard angling cross to Bajev. Won't happen too easily. And it's Kalicia who will send it back to his defense to recycle things up. Crowd getting into it. Just for handing out fans too, and they're keeping themselves cool here on a warm night in Sacramento, the warmest game we've had here tonight. Here's Kyle Gregg looking to his left, to the left side, finding Culbertson. Culbertson's going to try to cut it back in. Shannon Gomez, who's been so good defensively, stepping up. Hilton makes a pretty nice move into the box, falls down, and lucky not to be blown with a whistle here. It could have been a big opportunity for St. Louis. Meanwhile, it's Matty Osage who's showing his pace here along that right side. Has Espino working for him, crossing the field, but Jeff has plenty of space. Angles in, takes the shot on goal, and just missed target by a foot. Beyond Bajev gave it a ride. Could not connect, but a good look either way.
A great look by Bajev. Just misses that far post. An interesting strike on this. If you take a look at this ball's got a little bit of a slice spin on it. Typically from this angle, you want to see it curl back to that far post. But look, just bending at the last moment away. Almost kind of like a knuckleball, just takes the turn in the wrong direction for Bajev and just sails wide.
Absolutely tattooed. Tried to make this game 2-0 as Cameron Iwasa had the game's first in the 28th. Josh Cohen at his feet, a little bit of pressure from St. Louis. Shielding, high kick from Kavita.
That's a tough battle right there for Bijev. You got the athletic Kavita.
Kavita's got some size, 6 foot from Congo. Played with the Real Monarchs in 2015 and 2016. He grew up playing in that Real Monarchs Academy down in Arizona.
It's a good decision here by Turnley. Take the pace out of this game. Let's get out of the half.
Iwasa has seen 3 white jerseys throughout his entire night. He's breaking free. He's had plenty of space, though, however, to operate. Luis Espino has a good angle on goal. Going to cut it right back in. Takes a slip. Takes one more touch. Falls to his feet. Here's Bijev with a look at deflection. And it just flies over the bar.
God, a lot of things can happen right there. Almost an own goal in the end, really. But a great play really starts from Cam Iwasa's athleticism. Finds a great timed pass out wide to Luis Espino. See, you look right there. Great little cut. Maybe even a penalty shout, in my opinion, right there if he goes down. Good layoff nonetheless. And Bijev, that strike lets him down, in my opinion.
And we're going to have a corner kick here. So last deflected by St. Louis. As Kevin talked about, that last look on goal for Sacramento, nearly an own goal against St. Louis. Can Sacramento convert here? Last time they got a goal on a corner kick came against Las Vegas. Not able to connect here, but Jeremy Hall will keep possession. Espino off to his left. Here's Bijev again. Bijev working to his left side. Hilton just can't hang on, and he's going to lay it up for some an opportunity. It's going to be Iwasa. And Iwasa sent to the Tower Bridge Battalion. Well, these 3 extra minutes of stoppage time are brought to you by Rayleigh's Something Extra Rewards program. Earn points every time you shop. Sign up today, Rayleighs.com.
The good play by Bijev out on the left side. And really, Cam Iwasa, it's a tough ball to try to redirect on target. He's going away from goal. It's hard to get your chest and your body over it to keep it under the crossbar. But even before that, I think communication just behind him. Yuri Matiasic was standing there wide open on the penalty spot. I think a dummy in that situation, and communication from Matiasic is needed for that to happen. Would have been the right decision. But still, good build-up, good play nonetheless.
We've seen 5 opportunities for Sacramento tonight that could have resulted in goals. Cameron Iwasa, maybe the one that wasn't the best opportunity, ended up scoring the goal in the 20th.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the opportunity a couple minutes ago, probably a minute and a half ago, with ultimately Bijev taking a strike, deflecting out for a corner kick, came from Cam Iwasa's just sheer athleticism to start that play.
Culbertson battling with Gomez. Gomez last touches, so it'll be a throw for St. Louis FC. They're looking to equalize here late in this one. In the first half of play, that is a couple more minutes remain on the clock here. They're probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 good looks, unless Sacramento can hold on and keep possession here in the final few moments. Good step from Bijev, but even better play by Kalistri and Kavita. Now it's coming back. It's Gregg as Tainer goes down slipping. Kalistri with a beautiful touch. Kavita there to try to clean things up. Trying to get a look on target. They will not do it. Sacramento able to escape again.
How does Cam have that much time to bring the ball down?
Cameron Iwasa shoved off his line, going against Fink. Tries to work his way back in, mate. Look for a teammate, finding Espino in the run. And it'll be just out of...
Tell you what, Sam Fink and Sean Reynolds have to be able to sort that out better. There's no way Cam Iwasa should be able to bring that ball down on his chest. He does nonetheless. Cam finds himself in a good spot. I even want to see him be a little bit more selfish personally in that situation rather than looking to distribute there. Have a strike.
He's been able to get past Sam Fink and Sean Reynolds all night. It's going to be a tough speech at halftime from St. Louis head man Anthony Pulis to those 2. They've got to do a better job of marking number 31 if St. Louis wants a chance to earn some points here tonight. But give credit to Cameron Iwasa. He has made them work, and he does not look like the guy who has played 8 matches in the last month here. Either way, Sacramento is going to head to the locker room, up a goal. It's Cameron Iwasa. So far, the early game hero, 28th minute as he came, took it himself, unassisted goal. As the local product has the Republic up by 1 as we head into halftime. Full halftime show coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the My 58.
When someone else depends on you, the question of healthcare can stop you in your tracks. But candidly, it all really comes down to one big question. Who offers the very best healthcare? UC Davis Health. Visit answers.ucdavis.edu. During open enrollment, all those questions often lead only to confusion, but when you stop and ask who provides the very best healthcare, suddenly it all becomes clear. UC Davis Health. Visit answers.ucdavis.edu.
When you make strong promises, the all-new Ram 1500 helps you keep your word, delivering 2,300 pounds of max payload, 12,750 pounds of towing, and with a proven 5.7-liter Hemi V8, it's the most capable Ram 1500 ever, and why more people are switching to Ram than ever before.
Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Ram 1500 for $199 a month.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on fresh. Here's the deal. If it comes from a freezer, not fresh. Box, not fresh. Bag, not fresh. Fresh means just chopped vegetables. Cheese grated by us daily. Fresh means we don't even have ovens, because you have an oven. So you can feel good about feeding it to your home bake an XL NY pizza topped with giant pepperoni and ground sausage on an extra large foldable New York style crust. Just $8. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Hey, it's Vince Bloom, and during the Jeep Celebration event at Lash's Oak Grove Dodge, I've got almost 50 ways to celebrate with Cherokees and Wranglers. This month, I've got 19 new 2018 Jeep Cherokee Latitudes, just $18,777. Save over $7,100 off MSRP. Off-roaders take $6,500 off MSRP on all new 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK Unlimited Rubicon 4x4s. I've got over 30 in stock. Celebrate Jeep with Cherokees and Wranglers this month at Lash's Oak Grove Dodge, in the Oak Grove Auto Mall and online at oakgrovedodge.com.
Sacramento, Kevin Goldthwait, Rob McAllister with you. It's Cameron Iwasa, the difference maker so far in this one. Let's take a look at our NorCal Honda highlights here at the break. First 45 minutes in, and again, Sacramento continuing this relentless attack that we have seen from this club in the last couple of weeks. And early on, Matty Osich was a good look on already coming up.
Great job by Matty Osich in this situation to keep that ball alive. Villarreal does a great job, and unfortunately just deflects. I mean, Gomez has no chance, and it doesn't even take that brilliant of a strike for Cam Iwasa to find the back of the net.
Probably the best look from St. Louis this evening. Culbertson has been a bit of a pass, but just gives it a ride up over the crossbar. But for St. Louis, they haven't had many good looks here tonight. And then they had another opportunity on a corner kick that could be debated whether they should have this opportunity either way. Too much of this bouncing around, volleying in the box, and gives St. Louis a good chance to probably equalize here. If that was mishit, or that wasn't as mishit as it was, they could be looking at a tie game right now.
Yeah, I like that the thought there by Sam Fink to try to just dink that in the far post. And then here's another great chance for Sacramento to try to finish this half strong, and a great strike by Bijev, just a little bit of a slice at the last moment.
Absolutely drills it.
See,
Continuing his
good
assault.
look at that ball knuckling right there. That's exactly what happened. Just at the last moment, just curls away from target. Great strike by Vian Bijev.
Take a look now at Lasher Elk Grove Subaru halftime stats. I mean, Kevin, the amount of shots that we're seeing from the Sacramento Republic side the last few matches, the record-setting 37 against San Antonio. Now here tonight, already at the break, we have 10. There's been plenty of games where we hadn't seen 10 all match.
Yeah, and I think this goes back to, there's a lot of turnover for Sacramento this season. You have Todd Dunham and Simon Elliott doing a good job of bringing players in, and now these guys are starting to really hit their form and figure out how to play together.
Well, Sacramento proud to celebrate World Refugee Night, which is this evening. Earlier this week, the Sacramento Republic did partner up with World Relief Sacramento. They helped host a refugee soccer tournament here at Papa Murphy's Park. It was a celebration of our community coming together while embracing our new neighbors.
This day is a great day, big day for the families, for the refugees.
World Relief has a 70-year legacy globally and a 29-year legacy here in Sacramento. And our vision is to see families and people brought together and enriched, living together in community.
Rahimi family, they are a family of 8. They escaped from Afghanistan to be safe with their children.
It's a story a lot like many families that come through World Relief. In 2014, applied to come to the U.S., and after years of waiting and vetting in 2018, he, his family, with their 6 children, were able to come to the U.S.
World Relief is a very good company that they help our to come in the United States like buy tickets. These people are very kind and they were very respectful for every refugees. Yeah, I'm really excited with this. It's very good, and I love soccer too much.
We look for partners that share a similar value of focusing on our newest neighbors and the new people coming into Sacramento. And the partnership with Sacramento Republic was a perfect fit. They do what we do. They convene people through common goals.
People have come to this country who are working hard, who are contributing, who want to be part of this country. We're a nation of immigrants. World relief is vital to the Sacramento community because it takes hardworking people of goodwill to actually welcome people who are coming from another country. This organization does God's work in making sure that more people and more families have a comfortable and a positive transition to our community, and that's exactly what we want.
And again, it is World Refugee tonight. Had a nice soccer tournament. It was a great piece there done here by the club. Well, let's take a look at our best of Week 14 in the USL.
Now Silva, oh my goodness, what a goal! Mateo Silva! Amadou Diaz. Jason Johnson, you gotta be kidding me! An otherworldly goal from JJ. 2-2 at home. Here the young season, and a golazo from Manu Ledesma. Bourgeois got ahead to it. They score! Surely that's the winner! It's Ropapa Mensah! For Cheney and Johnson! Jamal Johnson does it again! And a goal! And an equalizer! Big save by John McCarthy. Buffon punched away Ranjitsingh. On Sparrow again. Wow. What a save. Connor Sparrow shot from distance. And Cochran with that brilliant effort. My goodness. It's Jones saved by Tambakis. Hernandez can take it. Big save. Dykstra. Near post. Barino, another huge save. On the assets. Great save. Restrepo. Lomas got ahead to it, and Matt Pickens makes the save. Available, looking for Lomas. Oh! Bound! North Carolina FC! On to the right, Smith. Into the box, headed past McCarthy, and there it is! Steps, strikes, and scores. Benjamin headed, goal! Penesi! This one will drop to Miller. Miller tie!
Welcome back to Papa Murphy's Park. Kevin Goldthwait, Rob McAllister with you here tonight. Sacramento leading by a goal. Cameron DeWass in the 28th minute. Let's take a time here to take a look at our USL news and notes of the week here. A couple of notable items to take a look at is this USL once again breaking through another attendance record, 140,000. Pretty strong showing. And one thing I know we want to talk about, Kevin, the 2018 US Open Cup. The second consecutive year, Sacramento making it to the round of 16, nearly defeating one of the best teams in MLS at LAFC. Lost 3-2, but the Louisville National went head-to-head, so there is one USL team at least moving forward, but you felt like there was about to be two, as Sacramento was right there.
I completely agree. 89th minute it took for LAFC to break through, but Sacramento gave those guys an absolute game and brought and made them bring out their best stuff to beat them. So unfortunate Sacramento doesn't come away with the W, but still pretty darn good game for Sacramento, and they should feel pretty happy about how they performed.
All right, let's take a look at some of the top goalkeepers in the USL. We already talked about Diego Restrepo and the performance he put against the Republic last week, where he had 9 saves, which is a USL record of the season at least. But you see Josh Cohen right there in the thick of things. Andre Rawls, we've seen him a couple of times. Bobby Uncerta as well. And that was a 1-0 or 1-1 match for the Republic in that draw against him. But you're saying you've got one of the top 5 keepers right now, especially in the Western Conference, and you got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about him early in this broadcast too. He's been such a key player for Sacramento this season. And once again, I think you can attribute probably 6 to 9 points directly to Cohen for making great saves in key moments, which is what you need your goalkeeper to do. If you want to have a successful season, your goalkeeper needs to step up in big moments and make saves.
And here we take a look at those who moved on to that next round. And we'll see Chicago Fire, see the Portland Timbers and LAFC. Should be a pretty good matchup between those two sides. And LAFC, they're out to win it all. We talked about that before. Now let's take a look now as we move on, and what we got looking forward to here for the Sacramento Republic coming up in the next few weeks. It's going to be Fresno. And last time those two sides met, Luis Espino had the game-winning goal. And then July 7th will be the next home game here at Papa Murphy's Park. And that will be the Real Monarchs, a big one to circle on your schedule, as the Real Monarchs currently right now sitting atop of the Western Conference table at 34 points on the year. So not a bad upcoming schedule here for the Sacramento Republic. And see what we can do here coming up for the Republic. They've got a couple of key matches here. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll start the second half here from Papa Murphy's Park.
I Love Lasher, starring Vince Bloom and Subi, the newest canine companions for Independence Puppy.
This month, this dog is dealing, starting with new 2018 Crosstrek 2.0i premium CVTs for only $23,263. Or how about Forester? New 2018 Forester 2.5i CVTs are only $23,870. Or lease new Crosstrek or Forester for only $149 a month. Your choice. Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Subaru and the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovesubaru.com.
The difference between possible and impossible? It's a person who believes they can, surrounded and supported by others, by us, who believe it too. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
When you set out to find new roads, you can't do it alone. You need a partner on the journey, one you can count on. More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevrolet for the first time. Trying something new can be exciting, empowering, downright exhilarating. See for yourself why Chevrolet is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall.
See your Greater Sacramento area Chevy dealers.
Every day, there are millions of stories, but the most important are the stories that impact you. Whether it's keeping your family safe,
these are the areas under a high alert because we're
understanding changes to your world,
and it could end up costing taxpayers more money, thousands,
or figuring out what the future holds.
It just may be bringing new jobs to Sacramento.
At 10 o'clock, we take more time to focus on the details that impact you most. KCRA 3 News at 10 on My 58, where the news comes first.
28th minute. That was the difference maker so far here from Papa Murphy's Park. It was Cameron Iwasa, unassisted goal, his 6th on the USL season. He's looked brilliant tonight, as has many others here for this Republic side. That has been about it for the scoring, but the attack for the Republic continues. 10 shots we saw in that first half. Kevin, let's take a look, a little review of your Chevy keys to the match. See what you liked, what didn't you like here in that first 45.
I think the first thing I had to stay confident. I think the boys came out, they definitely stayed confident. Don't get complacent was the second one. I think they kind of got complacent. There's a little bit of worry in my mind, and hope Simon and his guys go out in the second half, or came in at halftime, discussed. You got to go out, you got to communicate in order to have a successful night. Clean sheet, obviously don't have a goal yet. We got 45 more minutes of work to do to get through that, to achieve that goal. But really, in my opinion, right now, the most important thing is complacency for Sacramento. Come out here and communicate, over-communicate, and make sure you don't have any silly turnovers.
High challenge coming from St. Louis. No whistle blown from Elton Garcia. Jaime Villarreal, great looking touch. He has had plenty of those tonight. And I think Simon Elliott and the staff will take a few more before the night's over. That means Sacramento's playing well and that they've likely have points coming their way. They are right in lockstep with the Real Monarchs and the Phoenix Rising. And with Phoenix drawing with Rio Grande Valley, a no-score draw, which is a rare sight for the Rising this season. A win here tonight would put Sacramento just a point behind the Rising, would keep in third place, but want to try to keep pace with those couple of teams up near the top, as Sacramento is going to have a tough road in the playoffs should they able to get it there for a 5th straight year. Able to escape a little bit of pressure coming from St. Louis here, and very weak pressure from St. Louis FC. A bit surprising, able to control it. Here's Greg in the middle of the park, poked away. Hall gives it right back, but in a trouble area. Jaime Villarreal pops right back up on his feet. Space collapsing, but continues to make his run. A beautifully weighted ball. Here's Cameron Owasso looking to go one-on-one. Takes the shot on goal. He's got a brace.
God, look at the athleticism of this guy. How quickly things change. There's a couple silly turnovers in the middle of the park. But Villarreal right there, great job retaining the possession. One touch, two touch, gets the ball back, and a one-touch pass to spring Cam Owasso forward. And the pace, once again, Sean Reynolds has absolutely no chance to keep up. Look at Villarreal, great ball right here. Look at the weight. Catches Reynolds out, and a great step, a great first touch by Cam Owasso to close that angle down, and gets on his left foot and just smashes it towards the far post past Gomez. Get a good look right here. Just hits it with his laces. Deal with it, Gomez, and he can't deal with it.
Co-man of the match tonight, Jaime Villarreal, Cameron Owasso.
I tell you, Villarreal's looked the best we've seen all season here tonight. Breaking up tackles defensively, he's looked really good. He's retained possession really nicely and able to spring Cam Owasso right there with a great weighted pass. First touch too, Rob. Quick ball movement.
Here's Shannon Gomez. He's not done yet. Hilton giving chase. Gomez looking to cross one in. He'll use his right foot, send it back post. Just a bit too heavy on it. He was hoping for Bajev to make a run, but really no play for Vian Bajev. Either way, 2-0, Kevin. This crowd feeling excitement. If you're still in the beer line, you missed out on a fantastic goal by Cameron Owasso.
Yeah, great goal, but really what's in my opinion, the most important part of that goal is you've got St. Louis going into halftime, thinking they're still in this game. Couple adjustments here, couple tweaks there. Let's work a little harder. Let's possess the ball better. Let's communicate better, yada, yada, yada. You come out here and you get the wind taken out of your sails within the first 2 minutes. It becomes a huge momentum killer if you're St. Louis. So great job by Sacramento. It's a handball's call. It's interesting.
And they'll take that. But you're right. I mean,
But you think about that. Think what it does to your psyche if you're St. Louis right now. You're coming out. You're motivated. You're feeling good. Good chance here for Bajev to go out.
Bajev angling toward goal. He's looking to get third on the night. Plays it off for Matijasic and broken up just in time by Sean Reynolds.
That good build up too. Not.
And look at the hustle from Shannon Gomez. Is going to earn the throw. Could have let that go easily. Culbertson was tracking down, and Gomez, and the fight that we've seen from him tonight, he's not going to let up now in the 49th minute. Earns a throw for the Republic, and these are the type of plays that tend to lead to good things. Throw to Puicino, back to Gomez. They've paired well tonight.
But Rob, I can't stress. It's a tough challenge there.
And it's Greg who calls in to Rodriguez, and he's going to be carded the game's second. The first for St. Louis. That comes in the 50th minute against Greg.
But I can't stress enough as a player how frustrating and how demoralizing it is to think that you're in a match and still be competitive, and to rally the troops in the locker room, to come out, you got your morale up, and the first opportunity that there's a turnover, picking the ball out of the back of your net and realizing you've got a huge mountain to climb now. So great job by Sacramento. Put your foot on their throats and don't get off until this game's over.
This is a team that can't put up goals. They've scored 5 in the last 3 matches. They won 3-0 against Tulsa, then 2-0 against Swope Park. Two strong sides as Carlos Rodriguez is all the way up into the midfield. And so this is not a team that you said get complacent of, because easily they can turn it on and puts them in the back of the net. Meanwhile, this is not a team that's been able to do that all year. Luis Espino now. They are 3-1-3 to start the year. That was the best start for St. Louis FC in club history. Now, mind you, it's only a couple of years, as Iwasa is going to lay it up for Shannon Gomez. But it took them 9 matches to score more than a goal. Not until mid-May, and that was a 6-3 loss to the LA Galaxy 2. So you think about, even though they started 3-1-3, Kevin, they didn't score more than a single goal in a game. So they have had some issues scoring. So this is not a team that you're going to be overly concerned about scoring and coming back. But they have done it as of late, so maybe things are changing for St. Louis. Espino will send it back as a good-looking cross and attack for the Republic. Not able to make something of it. So the circle right back, Tainter. Decent run. Here goes Turnley. Turnley has a good left foot. Here's Iwasa again. Nearly had a hat trick. Hit off the post, and it's right back to Espino. Espino cuts it back in, looking for a little bit of space. And there's no one there. And unlucky Cameron Iwasa couldn't get that final goal to go, and so he'll remain at 2.
Wonderful ball by Turnley right there. Let's see if Gomez maybe got a hand on this, but great decision. Gets his head up, just slides it right across the face. Cam Iwasa.
Here's another angling ball in, looking for Mitchell Tainter on the backside as we cut back to live action. Republic will possess.
I'm not sure Gomez got any piece of it, but did a good job to come out and make it difficult for Cam Iwasa and cut down that angle. But a great ball in the box by Josh Turnley. I was just getting ready to speak about my favorite quality that Josh Turnley has is when you watch him, when he's playing left back and he's getting involved in the attack, his services in the box are so consistent, whipped in with good pace. And as a striker or a winger on the other side, you've got to just be licking your chops as Josh Turnley's flying up that left side, because you know there's going to be a good ball in the box. And such a good quality to have, even as an outside back, where I can relate to this. If you have a string of a few games where you're not serving balls in the box very well, the runs suffer in the box as well. And then when you do serve a good one in the box, you're looking at your striker, let's go, and he's like, wait, the last 6 you hit, you blew over. I'm not running for your services anymore. But that's what you see with Turnley. I think if I'm a striker, if I'm Cam Iwasa and I see Turnley flying up that left flank, I tell you, I'm licking my chops, and my run's going to be good, it's going to be sharp, it's going to be crisp, because of how consistent he is.
Well, and especially a night like this, if you're not connecting, you're not serving balls in the box, who's going to run when it's 92 degrees out?
Exactly.
Turnover here from Jeremy Hull, a rare mistake, lays it forward. And Kalisri not able to do something wicked. He was hoping that Kyle Gregg would be able to cut in front of that. But
even the decisions by Turnley too, in that situation that we saw, playing the ball on the ground right across the face of the goal to Cam Iwasa, inside of the foot, good weight on the pass, the right decision. You know, big quality for your outside backs to have. And right on cue, here he goes again.
Sacramento looking to spring something. It's Turnley with a strong left foot. Keeps it down low. Iwasa's there in the neighborhood again. He's not going to be able to get to it, but at least Espino will. He'll keep it into the corner and try to keep this attack going for the Republic. They scored the game's second goal on a beautiful ball sent from Jaime Villarreal through the middle, broke that back line, Sean Reynolds, and it was Cameron Iwasa on the end of it again. He has a brace tonight, nearly had a hat trick. His last shot hit the right post. Can they do it again? Here's Yuri Matiasic. We talked about how great he's been. He's almost been a bit quiet tonight because so many others have stepped up. Jaime Villarreal, Josh Turnley, a couple to name that have really had good games here. Matiasic. Turnley again. Vajev will wait for it just behind him. He'll receive it. Will come back for it. Looks to cut back in. Matiasic, a little give and go.
Oh, Sacramento looks so good right now. They are moving the ball so nicely. Looks like everyone's enjoying themselves. You got Espino with some quick feet. You got nice little one-touch passing between Villarreal, Bijev, and Matiasic. And seeing these guys really starting to combine nicely. One thing I want to see right now is Cam Iwasa's runs when ball's out on the flank on the wing. Interesting decision right there by Gomez. Maybe he's got a little bum wheel.
Oh yeah, Gomez just sends it out of place. It'll be a throw for the Republic.
Maybe that left peg is.
But let's go back to what you're talking about here. I mean, this is the 12th match in 43 days for the Sacramento Republic. Yet they look sharp. The attack is absolutely deadly right now. And you're up 2-0 after the last 2 matches where you lost against LAFC 3-2. And even though you did score 2 goals in that game, and then you lose to San Antonio somehow, not even to come away with a point, being shut out on that. They didn't get down, and it seems that this team was feeling all right. Like, they understand losses will come, and the confidence continuing to soar. Unbelievable ball from Jeremy Hall into space. Luis Espino, can he get there? Tackled and broken up in the final moment. Aiden Stanley. But what a ball from Jeremy Hall to keep the attack moving for the Republic. And the 17-year-old had to make an incredible run. Ball lofted back post, looking for Vijev, and he's not going to be able to get to it.
Keep moving the ball, guys. It's a bit of a cop-out right there from Matty Osich. Keep moving the ball with Espino. Go find Villarreal's feet.
This reminds me of the style of play we saw in 2014 when that team was moving on all cylinders. The back line was solid. Matty Osich just couldn't keep it. But you saw the quick passing. People were making runs. There was great timing, and there was good goalkeeping by Jake Gleason back then.
Yeah,
this is very similar.
I know. I think even right now, just the one. I hope everyone's enjoying what they're seeing right now. Is a great ball
over the top, looking for Dikwa. Mitchell Tainer able to get to it, slows it down just a tad, but the Cameroonian national able to lay it off and keep it to Khaleesi. Khaleesi is just looking for a angle to try to find something. Gets back post, and Dikwa is offside.
Yeah, but I really hope everyone's enjoying what we're seeing right now, because this is what Sacramento can do. How quickly they're moving the ball, the 1 and 2 touch. Look at the goal, Cam's second goal. One touch ball. It's just completely, if Villarreal takes 2 touches there, it allows Sean Reynolds or Sam Fink to get themselves pinched in or figure out how to get in front of that pass. But the 1 touch, the 2 touch ball movement by Sacramento, this is what I've wanted to see these guys do. I've said it for months now, and we're finally seeing these guys move the ball quickly and sharply, and it is absolutely deadly and impossible to defend.
And it's, when you're playing that well, you have to feel that those tired legs and mental mistakes, they're a bit fewer. They don't see them as often. These guys are feeling good. You're starting to win games.
Yeah, and everyone's on the same page, and when you're playing well, it looks like everyone's enjoying themselves out there. Sacramento, at least right now, it's easier to run, right? You're not nearly as tired. You're having fun. You're enjoying things. You're moving the ball well. You're combining well. You're doing all the fun stuff. So it makes, working off the ball easier than if things are struggling and there's turnovers and there's complacency.
Cameron Iwasa doing a good job of shielding there. He's been able to take advantage of Sean Reynolds all night, able to get to the Vijev. Vijev working in. He's trying to find a little bit of space. He'll find Matty Osich, who's going to lay it up. Cameron Iwasa wasn't ready for it, but Villarreal is. Now it's going to be Vijev, and an out-sprawled Gomez comes up with a big save.
Great job initially by Kavita on that right side, coming up, dealing one-on-one against Vijev. When Vijev sets it up, you see him roll the ball with the inside of his foot. Once he sets up, it's a roll with a couple little step overs, and he makes his decision. Usually 10 times out of 10, I'm putting my money that Bijev's going to be able to beat that defender, but great one-on-one defending by Kavita out on that right side, Sacramento's left side.
He's been solid tonight, but it's been Sacramento's able to convert, and it is a cut through, and it's going to be an offside on Kavita. That's the one knock against number 10, is the fact that he's not able to stay on side and really play that back line. Was called offside several times against Swope Park and against Real Monarchs, but here he is trying to just get something for his team going. And one of the guys who's had some pretty good success for the St. Louis FC side has been Culbertson. And so Kyle Culbertson will come out, and it'll be Katim Dakers who will come into this match. Now, Dakers is a player that we've seen quite a bit of. Play with Louisville City, play with Arizona United, FC Cincinnati. Last season had 22 appearances. So he will come into the midfield and try to add some firepower to a team that has not had many good looks on goal tonight as they trail 2-0.
Yeah, 60th minute, some adjustments happening. I'm surprised Anthony Poulos actually waited until 60 minutes to make a decision, make a sub. Looks like some activity, some action on the bench for Sacramento as well, which is also interesting. I think they're playing well enough right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And maybe just worried about some tired legs, and that's the one thing the Republic have been able to manage pretty well, and giving a reason why you're not seeing Adam Moffat out there tonight.
Yeah, in my opinion right now, I think it's got to be probably Bijev.
And And so another substitution coming for St. Louis, and it will be Seth Rudolph. But Joey Calistri, who there was a lot of concern about what he could have in terms of impact-wise tonight for against the Sacramento Republic, not able to do much, but it's Seth Rudolph instead. So Seth Rudolph will come into this match, has 1 goal on the year, did lead St. Louis FC in goals scored with 7 last year, and a down year for this team. But Matty Osic now coming off the pitch, and he's going to get a round of applause from this team. So off comes Matty Osic, and in comes Wilson Nisha for the Sacramento Republic. And the Englishman, who has 1 goal on the year, a lightning fast player that's able to get out of the open, and he could cause fits once he's able to break free. But an interesting substitution coming from Simon Elliott.
Yeah, interesting substitution. I think, you know, Matty Osic played well tonight, just not as effective as you'd like to see in terms of, I think, shots on goal and setting other guys up. But still, good performance, good shift by Matty Osic, really coming into his own. We talked about that early in this match today. Nothing to hang your head about whatsoever. But also, I want to talk about St. Louis's substitutions, taking out Culberson, both the flank players and Calistri coming out as well. So interesting decision there by Anthony Poulis, leaving their strikers in and throwing some new wingers in there. You know, tactically, wonder what he's seeing right there, because I think right now they've got to think more defensive almost on the flanks. But so you got Shannon Gomez and Turnley flying up and down the flanks. And maybe what the thought is let's get more attacking minded and force Sacramento's defenders, outside backs, to think defensively.
Well, what they're doing right now is you're seeing from Reynolds and Fink and even Stanley just lofting balls up over the top, maybe trying to break that back line, but they haven't had any success doing that tonight against Tainter and Carlos Rodriguez. So interesting to try to see if they can break down that back line now.
You know, maybe it is where you got your 2 center backs instructed to just hoof it up front to Dequa or Greg and have runners run off of that. And that's going to be your Rudolph and your Hilton on both sides. Or excuse me, your Rudolphs and Dakers coming in on that wing. The ball's out of bounds here.
Well, Sacramento's now gone to a 4-4-2, as you've seen. Nisha and Iwasa move to the top. Espino's come out to the right. They start off in that 4-3-3, and it's a 4-2-3-1 they've played at times. And here we're now seeing Nisha and Cameron up top. It looks like Simon Elliott's going to put that pedal on that metal and see if he can continue to put out this scoring attack that we've seen from the Republic here tonight. Here's Gomez being pressured, as that pressure from Greg has started to pick up here in the second half, just trying to get that breakthrough goal, see if they can cut the lead to 1.
Good composure right there between Carlos Gomez and Carlos Rodriguez and Shannon Gomez.
Ball lofted up over the top. Cameron Iwasa giving chase. He's onside, gives us just enough room for Tomas Gomez to come away with it. Sacramento Republic, 2 goals tonight, both coming from Cameron Iwasa, the first unassisted in the 28th minute. And then Jaime Villarreal, one of the best weighted balls we've seen from a Republic player this season, finding Iwasa again. And here is Wilson Nisha, continue to put some pressure on. Reynolds has to come out to his left. He's going to try to get it away quickly, and does. And the Republic have had a lot of success just slowing down St. Louis tonight. This is a team that looked very sharp in their 2 big wins against Tulsa and Swope Park. Here tonight, much different scenario. They even looked pretty good against the Real Monarchs.
Yeah, and I think what Sacramento's done a good job of, we just saw a good example a second ago with good pressure on St. Louis's back 4, back 5, not allowing them to have time, and ultimately the only decision they have is to hoof it up front, and Sacramento's back 4 has done an even better job of locking everything down, winning the first balls, winning the second balls, just not allowing St. Louis to connect on any levels here tonight.
So Takers goes down. Seth Rudolph had a good touch at it. He's got a pretty decent pace out on that right wing. He could cause some fits for this Republic midfield. Jaime Villarreal and Jeremy Hall have been working hard tonight, and they may have to put a little bit more here as about 25 minutes are in. And it comes up with a free kick for St. Louis now. St. Louis pleading that this ball should be up a little bit further than it is. And the appeal will not be given their way, and it's Lewis Hilton. Played in the PDL and the USL, played for Charlotte the last 2 seasons. Strong right-footed cook. He's going to go to that left post. It's going to sail into the stands. No play and really no opportunity for St. Louis there, and a blown chance. Try to get something on target. Taking a look at what happened last year. They were in the 12th in the Eastern Conference, 9-14-9. And at the helm was Preki, just not able to get things going, even though you had several of the Republic players who were part of that championship team here. Chad Bond, Octavio Guzman, Max Alvarez, Ivan Mirkovic, all playing for Preki in St. Louis a season ago, but did not have the type of year many fans in St. Louis thought they would have after the success that Preki had here at the Republic in 2014.
Yeah, trying to recreate that magic from 14. A lot harder than one would expect.
Almost a giveaway. Jeremy Hall will watch it. He's able to connect with it. Now it's Iwasa. Good spring out to the left side. Just a little too heavy.
A little shaky in the back, but look at the confidence that Sacramento is able to play with right now. Probably 8 passes in a row between their back four, able to work the ball up into the midfield, and a good turn by Cam Iwasa. Just not the best pass, but I like the idea from Iwasa trying to spring Bijev. I can tell you right now, if you're St. Louis, huff and wind, chasing the ball, and then when you do get it, you're dealing with the pressure that Sacramento's putting them under right now.
Talked about Preki and the change that St. Louis has had, and there's a whole different mindset coming from Orlando City from Anthony Pullis, and he said he wanted to have his team play with a lot of intensity and energy. He wants them to pass with a purpose, moving forward, and I will say tonight they haven't really been able to do that. And give credit to Sacramento, they've shut down the channels quite easily against the St. Louis side, and meanwhile the attack going the other way has been just as deadly. And a hard step in here from Kyle Gregg, and Kyle Gregg, it has to be in trouble because he already has a yellow card tonight, and he's going to get a stern talking to from Elton Garcia, as that was a hard challenge. And now just a fake going down Albert Diqua, and he could get a card here just for flopping, as Carlos Rodriguez and Diqua going chest to chest here, and Elton Garcia is going to try to settle things down here.
It's almost as bad as Pepe.
And now he's hobbling.
Almost as bad as Pepe in the World Cup with a firm pat on the back. Tough challenge right there. It's got to hurt a little bit by Gomez. And then some off the ball action between Rodriguez and Diqua.
So Garcia's going to have a chat with both of them. Now Garcia's already had one conversation with Carlos Rodriguez. That came in the first half and wanted to settle things down. Now between the two, he's saying, come on guys, there's really no reason for this at this point in time, but give credit for Diqua. He's trying anything he can because what he's doing out on the pitch hasn't been working at all.
No, I'm not going to give him credit for that though, Rob. I'm sorry. It's got, honestly, that's got no place in the game. It doesn't, especially here in America. It's frustrating as a fan to have to try to deal with that. I'll tell you what, it's in more sports than just soccer, to be fair.
It's watch any more easier to see.
Yeah, watch any NBA game, and there's going to be some exaggerations. Probably not as severe as what we just saw, or not as severe what we saw from Pepe earlier in the week with a firm little tap on the back and crumbled like a sack of potatoes. Especially coming from a guy like Pepe, who's...
And that got a lot of run on social media as well.
Good, it should.
And there is Espino moving forward, able to get past Aiden Stanley. It's been a nice battle between those two tonight. Here's Wilson Nisha, first quality look. Has a chance for Iwasa looking to turn on it. Just not enough space. Sam Fink closing in quickly. And the Republic again giving Cameron Iwasa a good look on goal. He could have 4 goals tonight if he just had another inch or two.
This is just, look at this turn here by Cam Iwasa. This is, Sacramento's just absolutely playing St. Louis. Look at that turn right there, that little hesitation. Sean Reynolds has no chance and is just thinking that Nisha's gonna go back, but that hesitation right there creates that opportunity, allows Wilson Nisha to get the space needed to serve the ball in the box. But
Sam Fink was able to slow it up just a tad and punch it away. The Republic here with another corner, their first of the second half. Here's Bijev. They'll set one in low and not going to get past that first man. It's going to be a disappointing
uncharacteristic service by Bijev. But once again, Sacramento, good job winning the second balls, not allowing St. Louis to relieve pressure easy.
Into the midfield, it's Espino now. Now it's stepping, it's Wheaton, Nisha trying to create some room. Not able to do it, and Seth Rudolph will send it upfield. This is a little bit dangerous. On the break, St. Louis coming strong. They've got a good look, and Josh Cohen will watch a big mistake from St. Louis. They tried to send across. Looked like to be Kyle Gregg, and out of play, but man, you feel like Diqua maybe should have had just a good look on goal there.
That's just some inexperience right there, I think, from Diqua, where You know, you open up your legs, you're running full speed, you still have to be able to take a breath to know that the service across the face of the goal doesn't need to be hit as hard as you can. It needs to have a little deft touch or some touch to it. And Deekwood just elects to strike it pretty hard. So fortunate for Sacramento, sails out, and that attack is just thwarted. But they need to be thoughtful of that counterattack, Sacramento. You can't commit both your outside backs at the same time.
Republic have created the Flex Pack to fit your busy schedule. Pick 4 to 6 matches and make the pack work for you. Visit the Republic online to get tickets. The way they're playing right now, you got to come see them in person. This has been fantastic to watch. Quite an effort we've seen from this club here in the last week. To play their 3rd game in 8 days, and the effort that we're seeing here tonight. And while they didn't get wins on last Saturday or Wednesday night in LA, they're going to likely get one here if they can continue to play that we've been playing.
That's an opportunity right there. I think Wilson Nisha is always thinking one speed, and that's full speed, go forward. Sometimes I'd like to see him just, you know, put his foot off the gas a little bit and think possession, especially when he come in as a substitution. We got 20 minutes left in this game. Possession is absolutely the most important thing for Sacramento, in my opinion.
Try to limit chances for St. Louis FC. They've been held at bay for most of this match. Here's Dakers. He's trying to get something going. He came on as a substitute. Good step again for Mitchell Tainter. And we're going to have a substitution now that the ball has been sent out of play. So Adam Moffat coming in, and a defensive move here for Simon Elliott is Vian Bajev comes out of this match. And the number of minutes that Bajev has played in the last couple of weeks, I think there's a time here that not to burn him out. They do have a game coming up next Saturday, and while they'll have a week off, Adam Moffat's minutes have been managed quite well, and here's a good time to put in a veteran presence, maybe think a little defensively.
Yeah, and we'll see what ends up happening here. So you got both Villarreal and Jeremy, and now Adam coming in. And it looks like they're probably going to drop.
Maybe go 5 in the midfield, 5 in the back.
Yeah, they'll drop Wilson Nisha probably out to the left flank. And on the opposite side will be Luis Espino, and maybe Adam Moffat's going to play underneath Cam Iwasa. And a little diamond in the midfield with both Villarreal and Jeremy Hall anchoring it. And at the point, it's going to be Adam Moffat. And if it is, it's a fun position to play. I like to see what Adam Moffat can do there. Some freedom to go forward.
Well, you know he's going to give it a ride if he does. Here's Dakers. He's had a couple of good opportunities, and another stellar play coming from none other than Jaime Villarreal, who's been fantastic for nearly 73 minutes.
Yeah, and another, what I like about this sub, or that decision tactically by Simon, is now just definitely a defensive sub, because now you got 2 holding midfielders in there with Villarreal and Jeremy Hall able to hopefully just sit right in front of that back 4, clog things up, and prevent counterattacks.
It's Stanley and Hilton who will stand here in the corner. It allows the Republic to bring 2 players, and it will be Stanley to take it. A little outswinger, punched away from Josh Cohen's goal. And a good play again by the Sacramento Republic. Held their shape. The turnover here popped up on Cameron. May have hit him in the hand. They're going to call a handball and a free kick for St. Louis.
Yeah, unfortunate for Cam. I think he does a good job to try to bring the ball down. First touch lets him down a little bit, but I was just about to give him credit for winning that second ball. So I think Sacramento's done a really good job of collecting that second ball. And, you know, that's one of those battles that I don't think gets enough mention in terms of who wins the second ball battle and to who wins the games. I think typically that's a big piece of that puzzle if you're thinking about this analytically.
Bit of a tough angle for St. Louis is Hilton, and again, it's Stanley. Step over this. Back in the net, and it's 2-1 St. Louis FC.
Now we got a ball
withdrawn
game.
within a goal here in Sacramento.
We've got a ball game here now.
That was close.
It's Sacramento. I mean,
all went for it at the same time.
Yeah, that's communication right there. That's really where that goal gets scored, is that clearance right there, just not good enough by Sacramento. But now you got some momentum and some energy probably in St. Louis. So Sacramento, in my opinion, right now for the next 15 minutes, possession is still going to be the most important thing. You have to really value possession.
They've outplayed St. Louis for most of this match, but all it took was 1 free kick. And now St. Louis feeling a bit that they're going to be right back in there. Sacramento trying to hold them off, and it was one of the most epic games of the 2016 season as Sacramento was up 2-0 against St. Louis. And then all of a sudden, St. Louis came charging back. The Republic would hold on to win 4-3 in that match. But a back and forth one in Missouri. But Wallfall, what a strike. He had to put that right on target, just hit the crossbar as it jumbled around. It was Dikla to clean it up, and it is his second goal on the year. St. Louis now.
Striker's goal. Just poaching, finds himself in the right spot.
Adam Moffat has it picked away. And Dakers and Wallfall there.
Too many touches by Moffat's got to move that ball quicker.
And the changes have worked in favor for St. Louis. Meanwhile, for Sacramento, a little bit different energy out on the pitch, as it looks like Moffat's playing a little bit under Cameron Owasa as they go to that. We have 4-1-1. Sean Reynolds strikes that one. It's to the right side, able to just get enough of it, and stepping over Dikla into the corner, collision, and a throw for St. Louis FC.
Tackled by Tainer. Let Dikla know.
2018 Nike kits are at the store at 17th and Broadway for the Sacramento Republic. Make sure you pick yours up today. Long throw into the 18, kicked away by Tainter. Flick back, and Adam Moffat trying to spring Cameron Owasa forward. Owasa just an inch or two away from picking up a hat trick tonight as it hit that near post. Allowed St. Louis to remain within striking distance. So we have a score 2-1 with the Cameron Owasa brace tonight. Here's Hilton moving forward. Jeremy Hall's going to cut him off and send him to the turf. Good defending from the captain for the Republic. And Owasa a little bit of trouble is the collapsing St. Louis FC side. And lucky to be called for a handball for the Republic's vantage point anyway. And we're going to have one more substitution coming for Sacramento. They've already made two. Wilson Nisha and Adam Moffat coming in this game. And now it's going to be Justin Schmidt.
Well, you got, there's the...
And Schmidt will come in for
they need to hold off. Look, you got Villarreal. Looks like he's motioning by the way to the sideline, like, hey, like, I might have something going on with my hamstring.
And he's gone to the sideline. I don't know if that conversation is.
And this is the last sub. So if you're Sacramento,
now they're holding off here. So maybe Simon Elliott is holding off. And no, they are going to continue this. So they're going to take Josh Turnley out here. So Justin Schmidt and Josh Turnley have been battling for position. Who would likely to stay in that starting 11. And Turnley getting the nod tonight, but just Schmidt just the other night. And Schmidt has played well. But Justin also a player that can play the center back position, giving Simon a little bit of depth. But here's a guy who's very good defensively. The one knock on him, we've seen him make a couple mistakes, but he played well last week and was able to be awarded for those efforts in the USL Team of the Week honors, as he completed 160 and 125 passes in those two games and had 7 clearances and 4 interceptions. They're going to need more of that tonight if they want to hold on to this 2-1 lead and maybe pick up a victory. A battle along that touchline. Cameron Owasa will be whistled for a foul. Kavita has done just enough to disrupt what the Republic have done here in the second half.
We got a lot of movement here with this lineup. Still trying to piece it together, but it looks like you've got interesting substitution with even taking Tainer, or excuse me, taking Turnley out, bringing in Schmidt, and then you have the shift up top. Here's another chance here for St. Louis.
St. Louis, ball cross sent in, deflected by Tainer, but there's 5 in the back now for Sacramento as Jeremy Hall has moved back.
You got up top, you have Cam Owasa, looks like he switched with Wilson Nisha, which I kind of like to see with Wilson Nisha, the pace of him to be able to go be a pest up front and also be able to relieve pressure at times as Sacramento needs to clear the ball. But this is, you're honkering down, parking the bus if you're Sacramento, which I don't necessarily agree with how well they've been playing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'll say it again.
Here's Hilton, ball driven, hell, another good opportunity. And over the crossbar, wall fall again. And again, the set piece is causing a bit of concern and raising the nerves here at Papa Murphy's Park.
Yeah, absolutely. The set pieces become very important, especially for St. Louis, where they really haven't been able to put anything together during the run of play.
Pressure coming, Hilton on the backside. Cohen's got to get away with it, and he's going to send it into the crowd.
See, it's too easy right now for Sacramento. They've got to turn things around. If you're going to play out of the back and try to possess the ball, and that's your end result, maybe you start thinking about doing something differently.
Villarreal putting pressure on. Quick touch from Stanley. Looking to cut it back in. Gomez there again. Quick throw coming for St. Louis. It's Aiden Stanley, the 17-year-old. Only 6 appearances a year ago, but he has picked up. This is his 8th showing for the St. Louis side.
So 10 minutes to go here, Rob. This is where you got to take the sting, you got to take the energy, you got to take the momentum, you got to take the pace out of this game. This is how you get kill games, and there's a skill. We've talked about this many times. There's a skill to this. I think Sacramento's got the ability to do so.
They were quite good at it in 2015. One of the teams that was able to kill that clock. In 2014, it was the comeback kids. How many times they scored after the 75th minute. Ball lofted up from Adam Moffett, looking for Wilson Nisha. And Tomas Gomez able to gobble it up and try to swing this thing out.
But really, I mean, that's what it seems like with what Sacramento's doing right now. They're electing to honker down, park the bus. If you're going to do that, then you got to figure out a way to kill this game out and take the sting out of it.
Best looks for St. Louis tonight have come on set pieces. Committing fouls is going to be something they're going to want to stay away from as well. To the left side, Aiden Stanley cuts it back in. Good looking play. Shannon Gomez going to send it upfield. Can Wilson Nishok get to it? Not before Sam Fink able to cut it off. And goes to Gomez and back to Fink here. Warm night in Sacramento. Kickoff 96 degrees at 8 o'clock this evening. And the Delta breeze has not picked up. The warmest game of the year. And for a club that has played so many matches and put in so many minutes with many of these 11 out here on the pitch tonight, you expect more of a lull from this club. Either way, they've been as sharp as they can be. It's gotten a little scarier here for the Republic side here as of late. Another opportunity. St. Louis trying to make something happen as Dikwa looking to turn the corner, will lay it up. Plenty of space for St. Louis. Takes a deflection, and into the stands will be a corner kick coming up for the visiting side.
I tell you what, you got a different looking team right now in Sacramento from what we saw for the first 80 minutes. As soon as that goal goes in, you don't like to see. I don't like seeing things shift. It's like their confidence is all of a sudden gone. When the second half, for the first 20 or 30 minutes, they played absolutely wonderfully. The best soccer we've seen probably all season. And now they're on their heels.
Ball driven. Moffett able to get to a head.
Look at, you got St. Louis winning the second balls now. It's interesting, incredible how much this game shifted.
Fall can't settle it down. Jeremy Hall will battle with him, and Hall able to hold on to his line, tries to draw the foul, and he'll earn one. A bit of acting from Wall Fall, and he'll pick up the yellow as Jeremy Hall. And the crowd not enjoying that yellow card coming from Elton Garcia to Jeremy Hall. That's the third of the night for the Republic.
Kind of unlucky, really, if you're Jeremy Hall. For Jeremy Hall right there, does a decent job of 1v1 defending. The ball's kind of bouncing around. Wall Fall, the power dribble, if you will, through Jeremy Hall. And Jeremy grabs a little bit. Wall Fall goes down way too easy, in my opinion. But you just mentioned, Rob, set pieces, how important it is for St. Louis right now. You got to worry about trying your best not to concede these, because this is where St. Louis has been deadly. And Jeremy Hall's got his hand full with Wall Fall. And there's a lot of rhyming words in that last sentence I just said.
And there is an opportunity for Wallfall again, who had a good look, hit the crossbar. Deke would end up scoring on that one anyway. And here's Hilton. Hilton will drive this one low. Adam Moffett again. So solid, and Wilson Nisha trying to keep possession, and he's not going to get the call. The crowd can't believe it.
No,
It'll be a throw for St. Louis instead.
This is silly by Wilson Nisha. This is his job right now. His job's out here to relieve pressure. And right now, you cannot concede set pieces, because this is where St. Louis has been so dangerous. So Nisha's got to be a little bit smarter in that situation.
Sorry, you're right. They called a foul. Ellen Garcia did. Or maybe the assistant referee. Either way, it's going to be another set piece and a pretty good angle for St. Louis.
And nervy times here for Sacramento.
Hilton and Aiden Stanley again, both stand over the ball to try to keep the Republic on their heels. And it's going to be Stanley with a strong left strike. This one's sent in, but not going to be the result St. Louis was looking for. Sacramento, meanwhile, has given up another second opportunity. And here's Stanley one more time. Carlos Rigas trying to get to it, is brought down and held by Kyle Gregg. They'll send it out of play and out of the danger zone. Another corner that will be coming for St. Louis. Got to give you a bit of pause here, Kevin Goldthwait.
I honestly, I don't think I've seen this in all the year, like how much this game's absolutely turned itself on its head. I mean, St. Louis looks like a completely different team. Sacramento looks like a completely different team.
It's going to be an outswinger. Looking for maybe wall fall again.
Adam Moffett, well done. Still need to figure out a way to pick up these second balls, Rob.
Cutting into the stands, going to clear the stands. Crowd will get into it. Sacramento's trying to hold on for about 4 more minutes or so. Not quite sure how much stoppage time, maybe a minute or two at the very most. There hasn't been much pausing.
You got a long throw here to contend with.
It's going to be Kavita. Kavita into the 18, looking for fall. Hall gets to it, back to Kavita. Kavita has nothing but space, driven back post, chance, and going up and high with Sam Hink. And Fink not able to connect, and Sacramento's fans with a collective sigh as that one runs out of play.
Well, still, it's the ability for Kavita to get the ball back and have no one on him and an easy service in the box. This is everybody for Sacramento's pretty much concentrated in the middle. You've got all these substitutions where defensive-minded. I still think you've got to have better organization, specifically on the outside. Sacramento's just really looking to congest everything and not looking to play out of this.
Public have made 3 substitutions. The rally going to send it a play will be a throw quickly for Aiden Stanley.
I mean, it's too long of time. 15 minutes that I think Sacramento, since that goal from Dequa, for them to think that we're going to just park the bus and see what St. Louis has, see if they can break us down. 15 minutes is a long time, Rob. That's not even including, you know, your stoppage time. Another opportunity, another corner kick.
Too many corner kick-in opportunities for St. Louis late in this one.
Yeah, when set pieces happen, the next most important thing is second balls. St. Louis is winning that battle.
Service in. Hopped around, still dangerous. Espino trying to shield, still in the area. Looking to clean it up. St. Louis down hard, and Wilson Nishaw commits a big foul and gives a clean look for St. Louis here as they try to equalize.
Just undisciplined Wilson Nishaw. There's no reason to foul. Get another look at this. I mean, ball's poorly cleared right there. Wilson Nishaw, work your feet, work your feet. The guy's going, he's going backwards. Wallfall's going backwards. There's no reason to go in there and grab.
It's going to be an easy call for Elton Garcia.
And this is a dangerous position. This is a very, very makeable free kick. It's not, you can hit this with pace, still get it over the wall and under the crossbar. It's the right distance, a comfortable distance. You got Wallfall on this, as well as Lewis Hilton. Hilton's walking away. Looks like it's all day Wallfall.
Wallfall, 6th appearance on the season, is yet to strike a goal. He's in the lineup tonight because Herzog is out. He lines this up. He's going to drill it hard. Curling ball, and it's in. It's tied to 2-2.
What a free kick. And you see Cohen cheat to his right, thinking Wallfall's going to try to bring it over the wall. Calls his bluff, and a great set piece, great free kick that beats Cohen. And this goes back to the discipline, I think, for Sacramento. I mean, how well they played for 75 minutes of this game. For this thing to be tied 2-2, get another look at this.
This is merely Reno all over again. Ball curling, beautiful ball. You're not stopping that. And here we are. Now it's 2-2, and Sacramento still in a bit of trouble as there's a bit of time left. But St. Louis, the fight and effort we've seen from the visiting side here has been remarkable as they've been outplayed for 75 minutes, got the 1 goal, and everything changed. Substitution-wise, Sacramento not quite done yet. Looking for an opportunity. Poked it free. Brought down the box. Gomez comes up. And they're...
How is that not a penalty,
Going
Rob?
to get away with it. No penalty blown coming from Elton Garcia. And the ball finally going the other way. Dequa and company not done. Seth Rudolph. Rudolph down low, crossed it into the arms of Josh Cohen.
It's a decent effort, really, by Justin Schmidt. I think he makes the right decision, but still looks like no one for Sacramento really wants to take control of this game.
Everything changed when the substitutions were made for Sacramento. Justin Schmidt finding Moffitt along the touchline. Crowd trying to will this team. Can they get a goal back and get those 3 points they seem so assuredly to have just 15 minutes ago? Gomez has some real estate, looking for a teammate. He's going to curl one in. It's Gomez who kept his eye on it and made a big save.
Yeah, not the best decision by Shannon Gomez. You see the frustration, too, by Simon Elliott down there. Needs to serve it across the box. He's got Espino out on that flank, too.
Extra minutes of stoppage time brought to you by Rayleigh's Something Extra Rewards program. Sign up today at Rayleighs.com. There's going to be 4 minutes here, but about 3 left. Curling ball into the corner it goes. Going to give chase is Luis Espino and Aiden Stanley. And Stanley able to slow Espino just for a moment.
But really,
goal kick.
You know, going back to the last chance with Justin Schmidt finding Cam Iwasa. I mean, it looked like Cam didn't even want that ball, to be honest. But still, it looked like it probably was Kavita holding Cam as Cam's trying to take that touch through, which in my opinion, without looking at that replay, looked like there's no reason why that shouldn't have been called a penalty.
255 minutes of some of the best soccer we've seen from the Sacramento Republic, but when the clock hit that 75th minute mark, everything seemed to have changed here. A foul called against Wolf Hall, and Sacramento looking to see if they can get something here in these final 2 minutes for a club that so dominated this game. It's particularly what we saw against Reno when Sacramento had their best showing in a half, but they scored 2 goals. Easily could have had 3. Missed mark from Hayden Partain in that one, and it was a 3-2 defeat, Kevin. They've got to hold on, see if they can at least get the point after what we've seen here.
Yeah, still, honestly, the way this game's going, I think there's still an opportunity for somebody here to have a chance.
Tainer trying to keep possession and does. Justin Schmidt has such a good left foot, takes a deflection. He's going to get right back under it. 50-50 ball up into the air. Jaime Villarreal, who's had a fantastic night, he's able to circle it back, keep possession for the Republic. Jeremy Hall's going to try to thread the needle. Tough ball to try to find Adam Moffitt, but somehow does just that. Moffitt will work it into the corner, come back out. Espino looking to break free. It's Espino now on the touchline, going to get Stanley. Espino, cross sent in. Opportunity, Rodriguez there, not able to get up to it. Now, Dequa looking to break as Greg is out up the top, and Jeremy Hall will send it back to Josh Cohen.
Tell you what, really lucky that Dequa can't get his head up because he's got Kyle Gregg at the midfield line wide open with tons of real estate in front of him.
Tainer goes up. Fall there.
Second balls, Rob.
The Fall's late game heroics. He may earn his team a point. Now it's Dakers. They want more. Out laying it for Greg, but Greg not moving quick enough.
Play the ball. Play the ball. No way.
And we've got two St. Louis FC players out on the pitch. And they're going to bring the medical staff out. One of the assistant referees actually thought that the game was going to be over, and that was the final whistle. In fact, it was not. And so we're probably going to add another minute.
He's got a watch on. And there's 4 minutes. He can't look at his watch. Amateur hour.
Maybe he keeps time on his iPhone.
Real. Frustrating right now for Sacramento. Honestly, if I'm Justin Schmidt, I am grabbing Dequa's leg and dragging him off the pitch to get things going.
One more substitution for St. Louis. Well, you got to give it to Anthony Polis, who started making substitutions in the 60th minute, and that's when it started to change.
Rob, I mean, it's the tactics in this game, I think, really were clearly evident as a very, very big, impactful part of this game. And, I mean, it obviously is every game, but you see how quickly this game shifted and turned on its head when the substitutions were made by both sides, where I think Sacramento elected to go defensively and threw out the window everything that they did at that point well, which was moving the ball forward, 2 touches here, 3 touches here, people going forward, overlapping play, bringing the game to St. Louis. And that shifted when Sacramento decided to park the bus and allow St. Louis time and ability to pick up second balls.
Something they hadn't done all game.
So I mean, tactically, if you're looking at this, hindsight being 20/20, I think Simon's got to think, that's probably the wrong decision. Maybe it would have been better off, or most likely would have been better off if you made different substitutions where you continued, you brought players in where you thought are going to really impact the game offensively, and made St. Louis try to defend it.
So Austin Ledbetter from St. Louis, a 22-year-old who was drafted by FC Dallas, will come into this match for Dequa. So Albert Dequa is out. He does have his second goal of the season. It was the first on the night for St. Louis. And they were able to equalize about 10 minutes later. Angling ball from Moffitt, leaves it in space for Nisha to come recover. He's stuck in the corner, not a whole lot of opportunity to do something with it. And the Republic will at least have a throw. And you'll see Elton Garcia looking to his watch here.
Well, this is where, think about this, where you got Kavita in there, who's absolutely animal, a beast in the air.
Deep throw, and not much in space. It'll hop around and back to the foot of Dustin Smith. He'll send a hard cross in. Here is Mitchell Tainer, and doesn't make a run for it, and Gomez will dive to the ground. And I think this might be it as Elton Garcia looks to his watch one more time.
Can't believe no one's making a run for Sacramento. Disappointing.
Still in play for St. Louis. They have fought back their way to a 2-2 draw, and the final whistle for Elton Garcia blows, and the crowd here leaving disappointed, as this was a match Sacramento absolutely dominated for 70+ minutes. It all changed as substitutions were made by St. Louis, and they earn a draw 2-2 here at Papa Murphy's Park. And we'll have a full post game for you with highlights and stats and more, and talk about what went wrong here at Papa Murphy's Park. Is while they'll earn the point, it does feel like a bit of a loss. Post game show coming up here on the My 58.
From the two trucks over here, I want you to pick a new truck for your mom or dad, knowing that they could possibly pass it down to you one day.
Cool.
But before you decide, you should know that Chevy Silverados are the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road, which means that Ford F-150s are not. Which truck would you pick?
The Chevy. The Chevy. The Chevy.
There you go. Boom.
That was obvious. Plus it looks cooler.
No doubt about it. Now they know what to get me.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on fresh. Here's the deal. If it comes from a freezer, not fresh. Box, not fresh. Bag, not fresh. Fresh means just chopped vegetables. Cheese grated by us daily. Fresh means we don't even have ovens, because you have an oven. So you can feel good about feeding it to your home bacon XL NY pizza, topped with giant pepperoni and ground sausage on an extra large foldable New York style crust. Just $8. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
At U.S. Bank, we believe one small change can echo throughout an entire community. That's why we proudly support, invest, and volunteer in communities like yours. Because the changes we make today
Can you hear me?
shape the possibilities of tomorrow. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
Hey, it's Vince Bloom, and during the Jeep Celebration event at Lash's Oak Grove Dodge, I've got almost 50 ways to celebrate with Cherokees and Wranglers. This month, I've got 19 new 2018 Jeep Cherokees. Dodge.com.
Welcome back to Papa Murphy's Park alongside Kevin Goldthwait, Rob McAllister.
Pass in the side of the net. You got to look right here, just towards the end of the half. This would have been nice. This is just a great strike by Bijev, just knuckling, and unfortunate for him. You get a good look at this, how this ball moves from this angle. Look at this strike right here, just moves. There's little spin on it, just misses that post. And great pass right to start this second half to Camelasa. Great first touch, and just smashes it in the far post.
Real played fantastic tonight. Set up perfect ball there for Cameron Wassa.
Completely agree.
And Wassa with a brace tonight. He has 19 goals in his Republic career, 7 on the season. And Sacramento, you felt they weren't quite done yet, but Jev and company continuing to put the attack on. And here's a great look, Matijasic trying to leave it, and then it's Villarreal right back. But Jev with a deadly strike and a save from Gomez, who came up big tonight for St. Louis when it counted the most.
Yeah, you're really starting to see those guys That front four playing really well together, combining nicely. A good save right here. Here's the first goal for St. Louis, where everything started to change and shift. And this clearance right here, key to the game, right there. That's a chance to clear that ball, get it out of the box, and Johnny on the spot. Dequa with a great finish. And look at this save, the second save here by Josh Cohen right there. Wonderful. But that clearance.
Looked like it took a deflection as well. I don't know if it's on Carlos Rodriguez or Moffitt. And then again, fall wall with a beauty of a strike. And that was number 2, and it would be the equalizer.
Yeah, and then it's just that first step by Josh Cohen to his right. It takes just a little bit of a half step to his right. All momentum going right. He's got a quick shift to get back to his left. And I tell you, Wall, wonderful set piece, wonderful free kick to equalize things at 2-2.
Republic had 10 shots heading into the break. They would end with 16, 5 of those on target. They did score twice, and you felt that this game was in hand. But you know what? St. Louis, they came crawling back into this, and they were able to turn on just in the final minute. And man, did they pull out a big draw on the road, and a demoralizing draw for the Sacramento Republic. Good news is they are still in 3rd place. You gotta feel pretty good about that. Let's take a look now at Papa Murphy's man of the match. And Cameron Iwasa tonight, 2 goals with the Braves. He's got 7 on the year. Pretty easy selection.
Yeah, I think Cam played really well today. Not only did he get the 2 goals, I think he stepped, he pressed, he defended well, combined nicely with his teammates, was really effective. This is a great first touch and just a great strike. You see Cam get his head up, take a peek. You know what? I'm gonna hit it with my laces.
You could have made a case for Jaime Villarreal tonight as well. He played well on both sides of the ball. Let's take a look now at our zoom image of the match. All celebration, everyone feeling good. But that good fortune would change a little bit. Now, mind you, Kevin, let's take a look at our Western Conference standings, brought to you by Life Storage. And even though this was a draw, you felt like it should have been 3 in the hand, Republic still sitting in 3rd place. And after the amount of minutes that have been compiled by this team in the last month and a half, to be in 3rd place, to have the run they had in the U.S. Open Cup, feeling pretty good overall.
Yeah, well, you know, my only concern is over the last week. You probably, 3 games, 270 minutes. You played the best stuff you've played all season. You only come away with 1 point. It's pretty disappointing. But optimistically thinking, glass is half full here, Rob. This is the best we've seen these guys play. And a couple, tactical decisions I think weren't right. Maybe a couple plays here or there that could have been different. And this game's got a completely different